destiny, somebody you're supposed to be. Far from the small town, there's answers waiting to be found. So she lies awake, thinking there's been some mistake, crying her eyes out, begging for help. She's shouting, I want a new brain, I want a new heart. I'm sick of feeling, failing and falling apart.
Rise in mind.
Hello, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning. We're back.
Who are you? Who are you people, and how'd you get into our houses? Welcome to Rise in Mind.
Where'd you come from? This is where we rise in our minds.
Where did you come from? Cotton Eye.
Where did you go? There's a
Right.
version of that song that is actually hauntingly beautiful. Someone like took it and made it about like some dude who left his family, like because the tone change.
Oh.
Like, where did you come from? Where did you go? Yeah, it's like, oh, now it's sad. Like, oh man.
Man, he just up and went for a pack of smokes and never came back. Jeez, Cotton Eye Joe. Cotton Eye Joe ran out on his family. That's where he went, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Get that Cotton Eye Joe. Give him the hammer. Give him the hammer.
Give him the hammer.
Give him the hammer.
Yeah.
Hammer that finger. Hammer that finger. It's the biggest hammer you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Welcome to what are we doing here? This is a podcast about a bunch of bullshit with two dudes in a flannel. And yeah, I'm rolling up on 2 hours of sleep in party mode. Ooh. Because it's New Year's Eve. I was up all night waiting for the balls to drop. You know what I'm saying? The double balls to just drop right on
balls.
Viking's face.
Well, it's
That's
also,
what we wait for every year.
Well, yeah, we're two dudes who want to talk about stuff and things and philosophy. I like to have the disclaimer that we're not experts on New Year's. Are we? Maybe we are. I've had. How many New Years have you had? How many New Years have you been through?
Over 40. I don't know how the math checks out, but you figure like 6 months in, right? I was already having my first one.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at the half point. So I almost shit, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I might be almost to old. I might have had more New Year's than I'm my age. Because just the way it's timing out. Yeah, it's like 4.5 decades or some shit, dude. Like,
I've had 30...
so I'm an expert. I don't even know the fuck how to say expert.
We're gonna export.
Happy New Year, you motherfucker! Give me that $15 you owe me.
$15.
Cheers from fucking Clark Griswold, Boomer.
Oh my god! I love that cup. That's amazing. Holy shit!
my brother-in-law gave me this. This is one of those plastic cups, just like years ago, and yeah, I bring it out this time of year.
Yeah,
water, the lifeblood. And then the other cup we have here is the one that I was gifted to me by Space Viking 42 himself, the Ram Deluxe. It's huge.
Still using my dirt cup, the Valkyrie.
You need to get you a big fucker like this.
I know. I've been
green.
That's what we got. We got it at a thrift store, so it's like.
Yeah, you get your Rise in Mind merch anywhere. It doesn't have to be on our website. It can be at the Goodwill. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It just the criteria is
the Rise in Mind merch.
Maybe a little orange, maybe a little yellow. You know, you can get yourself a Rise in Mind Pac-Man. You know, we got one of those.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta be careful. We're floating on this Dig Dug theme. We're throwing Pac-Man in there, and Namco's going.
We're straight Dig Dugging.
Namco's gonna be like, you got Dig Dug, but you can't have Pac-Man either. Anyway, welcome on in to episode 966.
Excuse me?
I
don't even know where.
I don't know. Where are we at? Like,
the episodes that you guys have seen are few and far between. there's not many stuff that actually airs. That's why we're on 976.
Follow us on all this stuff, and you'll find out there's 10 of them out there at least, in an archive. Some of these live ones, you got to catch us here live every Saturday. Roughly at 9 a.m. Sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's 10. Right?
We've been on a bit of a hiatus. That's why we're starting a bit late today. This was kind of an unplanned one. It was literally a day or two ago when I was like, "Hey CP, I want to do a New Year's episode," when we had already said no episodes for the holidays.
Yeah. No. Well, we took a good break around the holidays, and it worked out that I could come in and do this. I've been wanting to do this for a while anyway. Great way to sign off the year, even though I stayed up way too fucking late trying to get my house in order. And I'm
why do you have to get your house in order?
Just because it's the new year and I want to have guests and fucking get this shit together because it's been a long time coming and it's getting there. Little pieces here and there.
Yeah.
It's almost a house again. I just set up a nail polish table. We got a folding table. Setting it up for M's her nail polish stuff and trying to get a feel for what this room will be without, devoting months of work. I don't know. It's just been a long project. I've been stuck in the trenches of the Dreamers Arcade, ripping it up for a couple of years now. I got ambitious, and yeah. Rise in Mind tip of 2023: don't always get ambitious. Sometimes you have big ideas and you go a little too far, and then it's like, oh yeah, I actually have to do all these ideas. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
it's like I have all these great ideas.
I seem to have like constant ideas, and then I even started writing them down thanks to your advice, and now I'm just swimming in these post-it notes that it's like I don't have time for any of these ideas. Like I don't have time to actually implement them.
Yeah, it works though, doesn't it? Because it's like that's just too much for one human being. And then you find some of those ideas are like, well, that was fun, but what does that have to really do with anything? Like it'd be cool, and maybe you can roll that idea into something else, another idea. That's the way I look at it. But it's like one of those competition shows. I just got all these post-its like somebody's going home today. Going home, getting crumpled up, thrown in the trash. You're on the bottom rung.
This is ADHD idea survivor.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You have been voted off by 2 ideas that are slightly better and 1 idea that's definitely going to happen.
Oh my goodness.
Dun, dun, dun. I don't even remember the type of music they'd play.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's like the interesting. That's the beginning to fucking.
I was playing Baldur's Gate 3 last night, and
who isn't, man? Everyone's. Is it you and the whole world? Are you guys all in a cult now? Everybody.
No,
I was like, what have you been up to? They're like, Baldur's Gate 3. I'm like, you're one of those now. One of them.
CP, the cult is D&D. Is the cult?
Yeah,
that's the actual cult. But there was a song the Bard was playing. I was playing as the Bard, and it starts out like it's almost going to be the Star Wars theme. Like the first couple notes it's definitely going to be the Star Wars theme, and because it's Baldur's Gate, they can't do that. So it changes, and I'm like, my brain like short circuits because it was definitely the Star Wars theme starting every time.
Yeah, I drove my wife nuts with that for a while because she's a musician, and for a while I was just having that same epiphany. I was like, dude, this is like that other song that I listened to. See these 3 notes that start it? But then it does this, and then there's like a note comes back. She's like, yeah, but it's not the song. Like you can do that all day, dude. It's like there's only so many chords.
And she's a music major too.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah.
and it's like, have you ever seen that YouTube video where it's like 4 chords and they play like like 100 pop songs?
Oh yeah, that's called the four chord song. I think that's what they called
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So it's
Um,
like that's a good example of just something that exists in repetition, even though it's the same but it's different. It's
yeah.
like the same over here and then different.
Same. It's the same but different.
Yeah, music's weird, man. That's what we came up with for 2023. What'd you
Yeah.
get out of 20? What you all ready for 2023 to end? Did you have the
No.
best year of your life?
No, there's a lot of memes coming out that I really relate to.
Yeah.
They're just like I'm gonna stay up until midnight. But this is my favorite one. I'm gonna stay up until midnight, not because I want to ring in the new year, but because I make sure 2023 leaves.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
I didn't have a bad year, not really. Like there's a couple of events that colored it in a negative light for me, but in when I put it all in one lump, it actually wasn't that bad at all.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. Like, I mean, I can say pretty confidently 2023 was dog shit. Like dog shit stuck in my boot, and I'm walking in and I'm tracking it into my house and your house.
My
It was,
house in the middle of the street.
yeah, got my house with dog shit on my feet. Yeah, and I track it into your fucking house, dude, because that's what I've been doing all year. And the last month, I just rolled in shit and started hugging everybody.
Yeah.
Fucking have some of my life. People would be like, "How you been?" It's like, "How have you been?"
Listen, don't enough
Let's
about
not.
me. Let's not
And I
even
run into,
let's not even go there.
and I don't know if you've experienced this, but I just started really doing this not too long ago. But when you run into other like art-minded people, because Abso works like with some of my old professors and stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, how are you doing?" And then you always want to be like, "Oh yeah, good. Oh yeah, I'm happy. Things are fine." That's
No,
like what you
now
do for like,
because that's small
yeah,
talk.
yeah. Well, that's what you don't like. But like, see, there's part of that, and I say like it's important for like regular people. That's just the status quo. So that's just kind of the vibe you go with. But when you're around artists, you're not supposed to really do that, or at least like a lot of me and my art friends have thought like, no, we got to be honest with each other. We got to really dig into this shit. Like, if you're not good, you don't dump the problems, you know.
One of the main things that artists seem to understand is that we're in the emotion selling business. So like I could go up to
Yeah.
our friend Amanda and she'll be like, "How are you?" And I'll be like, "Oh, I'm good." And then she'll be like, "No, no, you're not." Like she'll know. It's not that I don't like that type of small talk. I don't particularly dislike compared to the weather talk. Um,
I do it all the time too, man.
yeah,
It's just so generic.
but it's you're right. It's more about like, do I open up to this person? Do I have time to dig into this? Do they want to listen to it? And that's so many questions that I'm just usually like, I'm fine.
I mean, at least with like artists, I'll be like, "Oh man, I've been swimming through dog shit." I'll say something. I'll try to be funny about it, and you don't always have to elaborate. You could just say like, "It's fucking sucks," or "It's been rough," without being like, "Well, let me tell you," like without
Quit being
without getting.
quit being a mark for emotions.
That's right. You're like, you've had that happen, right?
What?
Where you even might know the person, where you're like, "Oh man, I don't fucking go over and say to
Mhm.
Jim or whatever, like, 'Hey Jim, how you doing?' Because they're gonna, 'Oh, I've been doing okay, but my I lost this and this person did this,' and they just get into it, and then they're like, 'When I was 15, you see it all start,' and it's like, oh man, now you're like, you're part of the fucking psychiatric team.
No, now you're committed. You're committed to the conversation. It's like, oh,
And I think we've all had friends like that, right? I mean, like where it just says, especially when I was younger, like
yeah,
it's just a lot. So people, be honest. This is my advice for 2023 before it ends. Be honest with people. Don't always be like, you don't always have to approve, act. I don't always think I'd have to act good, like presenting well, as it calls. Like I could be having a shit day, but just because I don't want to bring other people into that vibe, I'm like, oh yeah, dude, yeah, it's a great time, and that's no.
yeah,
You don't have to do that. But then at the same time, don't be like, oh, dude, let me sit you down over here and tell you. I don't know why that went so slow. Let me sit you down. Let me sit you down over here and straight cowboy and tell you all my woes. Nope. So be honest, but be careful how much you disclose. Be careful. You might end up with no clothes. That's what happens with this guy all the time.
You might end up with
Clink.
no.
Cheers.
You might end up with
you're
no
up top.
hose.
You're up top. Hey, fill my coffee with a big fat dump. Come on, drop that down. Give me some of that Matt brew. All right.
Did you want me to like try to pour it in through the camera?
I want you to just take a dump.
No.
I want you to just squat a dump into it. I don't know what I thought was going to happen there.
CP,
Bit central over. Okay.
We're gonna become like the most quotable podcast. It's gonna get taken out of context so badly.
Yeah, man.
If we
I don't give
become,
a fuck.
I feel like when we become well known for what we're doing, people are gonna go into our archives and they're gonna be like, did he ask Matt to shit in his coffee cup?
Yeah. Yeah. Like here's all kinds of ones. Like CP Sketch, he's a big piece of shit. Fuck that guy. I hope you choke on your coffee, Matt. I mean, you just say all kinds of stuff. Here's one: Storm of Iron and JD Slater. You guys can eat an ass. See, there you go. Clip that one. See, it's gonna get me canceled.
Yes.
Those are our biggest fans, and they're gonna come in here and be like, "What?" Yeah,
those are gonna be our biggest fans. Yep.
Cancel
That's
me.
them right there.
Piece of shit.
I don't know shit about fuck, man. Take this outside, kick my own ass. Rest in peace, Rob Williams.
I'm just gonna take today and say a big fuck you to 2023. So I'm happy we got a new year coming.
That's what today is gonna be for the most part about. Like I want to revisit the concept of time. Like how come we don't do this in July? Why isn't it July 15th? Why isn't that the new year?
Well, because that's the day before my birthday. That's happy birthday eve, July 15th.
Happy birthday. Welcome to the year.
Yeah, that's right. Well, my brother-in-law has the 4th of July, so it's like, that's right. Crazy. Could you imagine where it's like every year it's a party popping off? Like
get your shovel, CP. Get your shovel. Oh. We're breaking ground.
I don't have a fucking shovel. I don't have a shovel, dude. What am I gonna do?
You got it. We're using our brains to break ground. Why is the fireplace still here from the holidays? That's been burning since Christmas.
That's some oak, dude. That's some oak wood, hard wood, right? That's some ram wood right there.
No, we're seeing the ADHD in action. I wish you guys could see the little like transform boxes flashing as I desperately try to find this image of this fireplace so I can remove it.
Yeah, we gotta get like a secondary cam over your shoulder for like the fucking engines.
Gears
fucking
grinding. Fucking smoke coming out of my damn ears.
There's a fucking steampunk lever.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We're on the verge of 2024.
Because I was visualizing all of that, and it's over.
What?
It's not on a loop. That's why I keep losing it.
What's that Inky cam? It looks like a goddamn sheet of paper. It's so fucking
I'm really
overexposed.
not sure why Inky's camera is exposed so badly right now.
Fucking celebrating the new year. That's why Inky exposed. If you thought Gone Wild was crazy before, wait until Snoop Dogg gets behind the camera. Oh my god. Can you imagine that world existed? Anyone know what I'm talking about? Nope. It's good. It's a better world left dead.
I don't even know what you're talking about, and I'm pretty old too.
Do you remember late night they used to have these things where it was like usually this like the sex numbers used to come on like on television on Boomer Tube, and you'd be up at like 2:00 in the morning, and they'd have this like those Girls Gone Wild videos, which are fucking horribly disgusting by today's standards, where it's like chicks just flashing cameras and being drunk at parties and shit.
I mean, that's
it's humiliating.
That's what we're looking at now, actually, with New Year's. It's just going to be a bunch of people drunk at parties. And how is that supposed to celebrate the new year coming? Well, I wanted to get into why it isn't in the middle of the year. Like, why is it January 1st? Why can't it be July 15th?
Well, because I told you. I already defined that for myself.
It's your birthday.
It's too close to my birthday.
There's someone out there that has a birthday on December 31st. Or 30th.
Yeah, and
I don't know how months work.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've been over this. I don't know shit about fuck. Oh, it's okay. It's 31.
Life sucks, so man. If your birthday's then, because you getting scammed on Christmas, you know. That's
well. It's like our buddy Margaret and Jesse. Their daughter Erin is born like December 21st or something like that, 21st, 22nd, and like they have to tell her like, okay, you are getting Christmas presents. But not as many as you could otherwise, because we had to buy your birthday present too. No, I'm kidding. They don't say that. I'm not gonna throw.
No, I'm saying that's what happens.
Under the bus, though. That does happen, but they don't talk like that to her. Like, you're not getting presents. They don't say that.
Yeah, I know they don't say that, but she'll know that before. She already fucking knows that. She's already figured out. Like, wait, this something not right here with this deal. Yeah, it's a burn. It's a burn. I don't know. Is it around like the solstice stuff and like that? You know, like all the original holidays, like it used to be.
The idea of celebrating a new year, it could go really far back. Like we're talking. It depends on which side of the world you want to be on, because the Chinese New Year is actually a much bigger deal than the way we make it out to be. It's like
is that when they do like the dragons and the parades and shit?
It's like a spiritual thing for them, which I want to dig into that eventually too. But I want to talk about like what it means on a personal level for breaking ground. Like,
I mean, for me on a personal level, it's a good it's a restart. It's a time where, you know, this is the thing. Any day of the month, you can be like, I'm gonna get my shit together. I'm gonna work out or whatever it is, or I'm gonna work on my project. But it's very easy for us as a culture to be like, hey, it's New Year's Day. We're starting a new year. It's a new number. Doing it. Yeah, let's create some goals and resolution. I just thought of these fucking things like the night before, but I'm definitely gonna do them. Like all this shit. Now that the calendar's turned over. Excuse me. Now, truthfully, you could do that anytime. Like, do you like make a significant change with Dragons Fly North?
So one of my favorite podcasts, side tangent here. One of my favorite podcasts. My brother.
It's Rise in Mind.
My brother and me. We are by default my favorite podcast because I do the most work on this one. But my brother and me actually had a bit about sneezing, and they were asking at how many sneezes before I can stop saying bless you or guten or gesundheit and start being like, okay, that's enough. Like, no more sneezing. like if someone sneezes like over and over again, it's like, what is it, 3? Like at the third one, it's just like, oh no.
Yeah, my wife, she was the first person to introduce me to that, because like in my family, I don't know what we do. We suck in all this air and we just do a fucking blast.
Yeah.
My dad used to be like, he'd be like, Jesus Christ, when he sneezed, he'd praise Jesus, you know. And my mom makes this sound that sounds like a velociraptor, fucking an owl, man. I'm serious.
What's that
But
sound?
then
No, we gotta revisit that right away. What is what fucking a what?
It's kind of like it's something like you know. I'm trying not to blast out the mic, but
I'm laughing at the sound, not at your significant other.
No.
That's so good.
So I'm prefacing my experience with my significant other. My folks and we do a one out, but then
Storm, we got to get to 50 followers, Storm. We need some help getting to affiliates so we can have the redeems.
Make a couple fucking floater accounts, dude. I don't give a fuck.
I don't either.
I mean, I just want the emotes.
But here's the thing, Storm. I could make it a sound clip. You could clip it right now, even. You can do it right now.
Are you doing the blue?
You're so quick at doing that, Storm. I trust you. I believe in you. I'll pay you. I don't want to do any more work.
Storm,
speaking of the new year, I don't want to do anything anymore. That's the New Year resolution for me. Let's fucking stop all activity.
Bro, pain, uncertainty, and constant work. We learned it last year. You can't just throw it out.
True.
You can't be like, I'm gonna throw the divine wisdom out for fun.
I forgot that Sir CP can't see me if I have on a window over this window.
No, I can't. It's been fine so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it better now?
I'm not sure. They have fiddly bits. That's what his New Year's resolution.
Fiddle with everything.
Your resolution. Fiddle less. You keep it up. I'm gonna start fighting with. I'm gonna get my sound deck hooked up and be like, we'll missile command this shit back and forth.
CP, do you ever sneeze and then see stars in your vision? Like you sneeze so hard. That's me. I'll do the machine gun sneeze, and by the third sneeze, I'm like woozy, almost falling over, and I'm seeing like stars.
Oh, see, I do it all in one, where it's like I almost put my head down. It's such a, sorry, I'm off the mic, but it's like rah, rah, and then I get up and I'm like whoa.
What was the word?
No, you have the three, right? Because I do the big.
I used to do like a machine gun sneeze. It's like every one gets faster, like one after the other. Oh,
because Abso, other than me and my folks, much like you, she'll do three in a row, but they're even. And like I might say like, bless you, Gesundheit, whatever that is. But yeah, you can't keep saying it. And now I just wait until the three are done. But then she'll throw another one in or another one. I'm like, fuck. Those guys weren't invited. Like, I'm not gonna just keep doing this Gesundheit shit all day. I don't know when it's gonna end.
Opening this up to chat now that people are trickling in. What do you guys do for New Year's? Why? And what started the tradition?
Hey, what was one of your best New Year's, man? Like
my best?
Yeah,
man, I have a couple. Like my best scenario for New Year's is, oh wait, holy shit! I think the power was out for one of them, and I actually loved it. It was this eerie.
That's cool.
It was this eerie silence, like all leading up to midnight. Like this eerie, like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Like if
I have found that
I'm with Storm. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just like when you have something on a holiday where the power's out, or it's a storm or something. They are Storm of Iron. They are they're more compelling than the other ones, I would say. Like we had a Thanksgiving where there was no power, and it was a neighbor of my mother-in-law like invited like us, like the whole kind of family that was going to get together to go over and have Thanksgiving with them. And they had a generator, and we were able to use like their shower and everything. And it was just like, it was nice because it was new, but it was also just the vibe was good. It was like, people being like kind to each other on the holiday, and it was like, so it resonates a little more, kind of like you were saying with,
Yeah.
having a dark New Year's Eve when I'm just me and La Luna. We are men. Oh wait, La Luna is a woman moon. I'm not trying to gender the moon because La Luna is feminine.
Did CP
Spanish.
Did CP sketch just Rule 34 the moon?
Is that what it's called? Rule 34?
Yeah, when you sexualize something and it's something you wouldn't expect. Like there's Rule 34 of Bluey for Christ's sake. Like it's awful.
Oh, dude, I've been breaking that rule since Roger Rabbit. You're not supposed to want to fuck a cartoon, but that really turned my head. I was like, hey,
that one Rule 34'd itself. She was already sexualized. Like you can't even.
Yeah, so what do you do with that?
Well,
who's the bad guy here? I think Robert Zemeckis.
I want to touch on what Storm of Iron's saying. He says, "I do nothing because it's just another day." That's part of what I was getting at.
Oh, come on, man.
That's what
Storm.
That's what I was getting at with the with the like why not July? Why not any other day? For the
you motherfuckers must be coming around. You fucking motherfuckers must be coming around door to door with Watchtower flyers. That's all I'm saying. Fucking not celebrating shit. Come on, man. How do we know this is it?
Storm of Iron doesn't celebrate anything except the Storm of Iron.
Storm, you celebrated the Ram Bros party, and we fucking did it up. So, Viking gave you a bunch of food, made you sick. That was a party. That was a party, dude.
You had that New Hampshire barbecue. It's freaking put a fire in your belly.
That buffalo dip, dude.
No, and
it was what was funny. Absa was like the day before because she was hanging out the same night. She was hanging out with Hexy, and she's like, "Oh, dude, I don't feel good. I ate all this buffalo dip." And I'm like, "Huh? I guess that shit's going around. The buffalo dip sickness.
The buffalo dipness.
Sneezing up my butthole.
The buffalo dipness.
What the fuck is the? This is like Snoop Dogg. The buffalo dipness.
Yeah. I was sneezing out my butthole, Storm says. Good morning, everybody. Storm of Iron was sneezing out his butthole.
Yeah, so, I was there for it.
I want to touch on Storm saying
it was a party.
I'm never like a partier. So like here's the real breaking ground. Like New Year's has become an excuse to get shit-faced and have sex with random people. And yeah, no, I'm not about that vibe either, Storm. I don't want to celebrate New Year's that way.
Have gotten shit faced.
I have
on New Year's Eve.
I have too.
I've had some bad ones though because of that. Like you get in a fight on New Year's Eve. That's a fucked up way to start a year, man.
That's a great way to bring in the New Year's. Fight some dude, some random person.
It's like I got in a fight with this guy. Oh, what an asshole. Oh, it was because I was trying to fuck his girlfriend. It just gets crazy. Like, oh, but that's the criteria. That's what I'm. But I mean, it's anybody who wants to party is going to spin anything into anything. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I didn't always like party. And in the last few years, it becomes something like Abso and I will hang out and we'll have like a fry party or something where we just deep fry food or something decadent and stupid, like an event. And it's usually pretty like low key. Who wants to go out with all the drunks driving around? It's like a fucking pod racing out there, man.
Yeah, what my family normally does is what I hope to also do with you guys. Speaking of, I'm going to be celebrating with the Dreamers Arcade crew. And what I hope to do.
I gotta clean this. I gotta clean this fucking place up. I'm getting there.
Clean shit about fuck, man. I don't care about that shit.
I gotta get it. I gotta get it together so we can walk around and play arcade machines.
So ADHD hack, or if you're just an unmotivated person, hack, right? So if you have a significant other, go to them and be like, so and so's going to be here in an hour, and so and so's not actually coming, but you say that to them. And the house will be spotless. And then when you tell them, oh, they're not actually coming, then you look around and the house is clean. And the person with ADHD or the unmotivated person is going to be pissed, but then slowly ease into the idea of, oh, the house is clean.
Unless your CP, who does like cleaning, by the way, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind, and it would be a nice trick where it's like, oh yeah, things are cleaned up. But that being said, that does happen to me. My wife does capitalize on that. She doesn't ever use the real time. She'll be like, oh, what? I'm like, what time are we meeting? Because I don't ever know. Oh, we're meeting at 11. We're meeting at noon. Like, she just knows. Like, by the time I get my shit together, I'll be like, oh, hey, we actually got here 5 minutes late still. Like, but yeah, she's used that trick before, and it's frustrating. But it also, someone like me, you got to watch out with me. Like, you tell me we're doing something, and you turn that shit back around, I get all fucked. You know what that is? That's a life of disappointment right there.
It is.
That's like my folks were always cool with Christmas, getting me like cool Ninja Turtles and video games, but we had a lot of aspirations to go to Disneyland and this and that, and yeah, that just didn't come to fruition. I think my dad was a bit of an ADHD head himself, and he was like, "Hey man, we're gonna go to Disneyland, brother. We're gonna turn we're gonna turn this Dodge Ram into a Ghostbusters truck. Hey man, let's take this Darth Vader thing and mount it on the front of my boat, and we'll fucking."
Is that?
This is what my dad.
That's for New Year's.
This is all shit. So this is all shit my dad said about talking about like dopamine farming and stuff like that. Just making the point that dad probably had a little ADHD too, because it was like always these giant ideas. But what it does. So here's a sideline. Being someone with ADHD, be careful on those. You get a little kid around you, and you're like, "We're gonna take over the fucking world," because you know they want to do it too. We're gonna slay dragons and find fucking underground tombs, and the Ghostbusters are gonna come out. We're gonna donkey punch fucking, you know, I don't know who the fuck we're gonna donkey punch. Oh, that guy from the shitty guy who shuts them all down in the containment unit. Walter Peck. Walter Peck. That guy we're gonna. All right. Anyway. So that's very distracting, creating that nebulous net of narrative.
Yeah, I'm going to be celebrating with CP Sketch and Absolutely, and what I hope to do
that's what
is my tradition.
I'm here grinding all night.
My tradition is going to be is usually to get Chinese food of all things. I like
Chinese New Year.
I like to mix.
You said it was more hype.
Yeah, there's some more hype about it because.
What'd you just say? You like to mix Coke with candy?
Cultures.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the melting pot.
Yeah, I like to mix a lot of cultures. Like I wanna have a small party. Get Chinese food, and you know what year it is? You know what year it's going to be? The Chinese New Year. This is exciting.
The fuck?
I love the aura of it. We can look it up too as part of Breaking Ground. This coming New Year is the Year of the Dragon.
Ah, hey man.
Hey.
Oh fuck. Hey, hold on.
He's bringing out goddamn Falcor, isn't he?
Nah.
Okay. Nah. Hey.
Oy.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Oh, it's an actual dragon. Wait, your camera can't keep up with it. Go a bit slower.
You know who it is.
I told you it was Falcor.
Hello, Matt. So what we're gonna do? This is a special Rise in Mind video. We're gonna face your demons with Falcor, and you're gonna tell Falcor when you're over here everything why he scared you. But you go, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm a grown ass man, and you're just a little ass dragon. And you take a hammer and smash the shit out of this thing. We're gonna fuck it up, you and me. Matt's gonna fucking exercise his demons on New Year's. We're gonna take your childhood trauma of Falcor, and you're gonna bash him with a giant hammer.
Lunar,
you ready for that?
We are. Well, I'm ready to do you an education.
He wasn't even listening to that. He doesn't even realize he's going to confront his.
No, I had an ADHD moment, and it wasn't that I wasn't listening, but
I know. I know when people are listening.
I am interested. It's not that
I know.
Yeah. You're not going to repeat it, though,
Rock.
just to spite me.
No. You have to pay attention. Okay. You're gonna have to when you're editing, you'll fucking hear it 9 times and then it'll sink in. That's why he's the editor. Like man, maybe you'll remember these fucking shows.
I don't remember yesterday. I don't even remember yesterday. But
why not? You do.
Why are you doing to me what your parents did to you? Is that bringing you some sick pleasure? Being like, you gotta pay attention. I'm not gonna repeat
you gotta
shit
pay attention.
for you.
Dude, my parents still don't pay attention. It's like they just walk into a room. It's like a kid walking into a room sometimes, and it's like they're just like, "Hey, conversation's going on. Hey, everybody, fucking now it's my time. The star is here.
Screw whatever you were saying.
I'm the main character in my story," as they say on the when people freak the fuck out. Speaking of which, I saw this guy freak out on the internet. He was like short, and he was bitching about his dating profiles, and he got into an actual bagel shop over it.
Oh my god!
Find this.
Wait, was this on a OkCupid ad? I have a screenshot of some guy going on a rant underneath OkCupid ad talking about like how pissed off he is, and his name's like Philip, and I really wanted to put a comment under his comment. It was, who hurt you, Philip?
Yeah, they might have capitalized and weaponized Phil for their advertisement. But I watched to the end. I wanted to find the full video because he's like fucking with this guy, and then this one guy goes, he just did the CP. You know, he'd be like, "All right, enough." You know, from the background, like some trying to tough it out, but not really get involved. Like, but this guy, he's like, "You want some of me too?" And this guy just fucking charged him, and then the video ended. I was like, "Oh man." He looked like he was about to sit that guy up on the cash register. Shit. No, I said I'll say it again because you need to know this.
Thank you.
You need to know this. This is Falcor.
That is Falcor.
This is
your camera
again. I know, because it's overexposed.
Yeah.
This is your nemesis. This is the thing that tormented you as a child.
You're
gonna tell Falcor everything he did to you, but now you're an adult, and you're smash the fuck out of him. Pieces. You gotta kill this motherfucker, and then you can be done with it. And you can end that part of your life before the new year starts.
I actually would love that.
It's just a 3D printed thing, and it's kind of broken anyway, and I had fun with it.
I like it. I like the sound it makes. That's satisfying.
Yeah. ASMR. We're gonna do some ASMR in 2024. Fuck that. I'm not into that.
I do appreciate that, CP. I'm gonna actually, that's a great thing to bring in the new year for me, because I have been holding on to that for a long time. Why have I been holding on to it for so long?
Yeah, like here's a good example. It just happens to be like right here. Do you see this? It's overexposed, you know.
I can see it pretty good.
It's a spider. It's a creature, but it's designed after the black and yellow garden spider.
Yeah, can you describe it a little bit more for our audio people?
Oh yeah, so it's just a spidery thing that's in the trash, and it's this venomous looking thing. I was playing around with this idea of these bug renegades in the Dreamers arcade that were I can't even remember now. They're part of vacuous fumes or something, and they're rogues. They're like mercenaries like that. But anyway, it scared me so much. Like it still to this day I'm uncomfortable looking at it. And it's kind of like that idea with Batman. Like Batman is Batman because he's terrified of bats. So bats are really scary. So I want to be the scariest thing. I'm the bat. So when creating things in your world, when you want to create stuff that's scary, pull from Falcor. You know, I pull from the spiders. I've sharks and stuff upset me. So pull from things that actually scare you. And not only do you get that feeling that you had, that intensity of like that either childhood fear or whatever, you also get kind of a relief. It's like, yeah, I'm not scared of this thing anymore. I'm literally looking at images to learn to draw it, and it's like, it's over with. You know, that part of my life can be gone. So,
yeah,
you know, they say like face your demons. I'm trying to figure out how to let some of them in so that I can start a conversation or fight them.
Fantastic New Year's resolution.
Yeah,
if I'm remembering correctly, that actually goes with what the Year of the Dragon actually means too.
Really?
Yeah, are you ready to get into it? See if I'm correct about that. I read something a while back that I think it was, because it's a zodiac thing, so there's some like spiritual connection stuff with it as well. So the year of the dragon technically starts on Saturday, February 10th.
Oh.
So we're like up until then we're still in the last one, which I can't remember what animal the last one is. Then after that we have snake, horse, and goat. So like 2027 it's going to be goat.
I'm the goat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying the greatest of all time. I'm not trying to be an egomaniac, but I usually am the goat at least on the thing that's on the Chinese restaurant fucking placemat, that you get when you're at the restaurant. I'm the goat hey, I think I was the ram once, dude. Yeah. Wait a minute.
Yeah, you probably were the ram once. So here's what the dragon means. Those born in the year of the dragon are believed to be ambitious, energetic, and charismatic, often inspiring others with their passion and enthusiasm. They're considered to be natural leaders, confident and unafraid to take risks, making them magnetic personalities in social and professional circles. That's born in. A deeper look. Let's see. Nope. I want to know more about. Okay, so they go in cycles. So this has happened before. Let's see the wood dragon year. It's the wood dragon. The wooden dragon will bring authority, prosperity, and good fortune.
Okay.
Does that go with does that go with what you were saying? Was that correct? Inky.
I don't remember. What the hell were we talking about?
Inky's complaining.
Now he's like,
no, my cat's because she's complaining about me talking while she's trying to sleep. She's over there going meh. Like while we're talking.
I mean, Inky, it's fucking ram time. We gave you a couple weeks off for the holidays, but we got to get back to business at some point. We got a show to do. We got to do the show.
She's sleepy.
It's a holiday, Inky. Jeez. Anyway, that's a real ADHD moment. That's really pulling you away.
Yeah, because I love her. I love her noises.
Yeah, cats are tough. I mean, I'm looking out the window and it's snowing. That's a real tough one. It's like. It's distracting. It's thick too. And I'm just thick snow. But yeah, it's hard not to get distracted by stimuli sometimes. We need to just be in like void
it's elements.
Chambers.
Okay, that's crazy. Sorry, go ahead.
So they're different ones?
Well, like 1904 and 1964 were the wood dragon, and then the fire dragon was 1916, 1976. The earth dragon was 1928, I was born in the year of the earth dragon. You don't like to hear us talk, Scarlett? Is that what you're saying? So I was born in the year of the earth dragon. I'll be damned. Metal dragon was 1940, 2000. The water dragon was 1952 and 2012. And now we're going back into a wood dragon now.
Okay.
This. I
like wood, man.
Remember that thing we talked about, the 80-year cycle?
Yeah.
That's kind of scary. Because the dragon years are the some shit went down.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, and I got an example of that too. You know how there's the 20-year cycle that's like the kind of kickstart. It's usually, this is a fashion cycle.
Yeah.
Or it works well with trends and creative stuff. So in the 70s, we had 20 years later, we had the 90s. And then in the 90s, you saw a lot of 70s stuff coming back. Mm-hmm. Bell bottoms were coming back, but only a little bit, right? The real deal is that's like sticking your foot in the water. It's like, all right, we're going to sell a little bit of stuff. Mm-hmm. But 30 years from now, we're going to hit the 70s hard. Now look around. I mean, look at the colors that we're wearing and then the cars and stuff that we're driving. Mid-century is popping off. Why is mid-century popping off? There's a whole bunch of middle-aged men now who now, and women that are like, we're the adults now. And there's this nostalgia for the aesthetic that was around when we were kids. And we're restructuring the way that the world was in 2023, but from this kind of 70s, 80s aesthetic. And I find that fascinating. The example is a recent Christmas present. Abso fucking killed it. I got so listen to this. This is going to blow your mind, guys. I got an Atari 2600. That was the first video game system that I ever played. I don't have one from the 70s. I have a brand new Atari that was made this year. They remade the Atari, and it's not an emulator. It's not like these preloaded ones. It uses actual cartridges.
What?
And they're releasing new cartridges, and I just got the Berserk cartridge, and it's an actual cartridge in an actual box, just like it used to be. But now they've added different features. They've cleaned up some of the bugs. I think you can shoot diagonal, and it has the text. It has the voice that was never in it of like the evil robots and stuff.
Yeah.
So they have these enhanced editions that are coming out. But get this, it plays all the Atari and 7800 games from 50 years ago.
Wow. It'll play those?
So you can use it to play old stuff and collect it, and then you can use it to play new stuff, but there's no preloaded stuff. It comes with a game that's a 10-in-1. So what Atari has done is some 50 years later, so this is that 70s cycle, they're like, hey, we're going to bring back the Atari in all its capacity in a modern world, and we're going to release games. And they released their first game on cartridge in 30 years.
Wow.
The other day. It's a jump and run game, and I'm stupid that I haven't bought it yet. But they're gonna start doing that. They're gonna start re-releasing collector's sets, ones with different artist art. But then you can also collect the old stuff.
Awesome.
And dude, you can use your old controllers. Like I have the old paddle controllers and old joysticks, so I don't have to buy new ones. And it's all brand new. It's smaller. It looks just like the Atari, but there's a light that comes on the front. It's beautiful, and I'm just so nostalgic. I wanted this ornate thing in my bedroom to go with the mid-century room, and so that's kind of what's happening. It's like it elevates itself a little bit. I'm getting more core and mid-century kind of vibe, but Atari they knew that, man. They just know where it's like, hey, we're gonna hit our 50th, and that's a big deal, and people are gonna be really excited about it. And we're gonna sell something, but instead of doing like an NES emulator or whatever, preloaded with 20 games type thing, like no, we're gonna actually bring back the tech again, so you can experience old tech and new tech. We're revitalizing it for the future, and dude, this toggle switches feel like really like switches. You got to see this thing, dude. Maybe we'll play it a little bit. It's tripping me out. So that, not to go on some major tangent like I did,
that's fine.
But Atari, it's exciting because like now there's going to be all this stuff that it's like I'm starting back over. They've re-released their shit, and it's like you're going to get me with that. Like the same idea as these arcade cabinets. I always wanted these things as a kid, but like you get to a point where I'm setting up my stuff and I can do whatever, and so you can almost time that out, those cycles, and they do. I mean, we know how to market stuff, and in art and history is a circle.
Marketing of it is pretty big. I mean, that's interesting to think about because vinyl is also coming back in a big way.
Well, it's really crazy. Vinyl has been back for a long time, but it was I mean, it never went away, but it's becoming really huge. Like I was collecting at record stores when I was about your age. When I was about, I used to collect records at the Record Connection, But because you could get them for like $1 and stuff. But now I'm seeing the same album. Like I got an Al Green record for like $1. I got some pretty cool albums for like $1. And now you go to like a Walmart because Walmart has realized like, oh, people are collecting these things. And now they're re-releasing. Like, but if you go buy an Al Green now, it's a new pressing and it's like getting it new again, but it's $25. So you're going to be paying more for that nostalgia. But on top of that, they're not just bringing records. Records is a superior media that lasts for a long time. They're bringing back cassette tapes and VHS, and I buy new cassette tapes sometimes. That's fucking dumb, dude. Those things last like, those don't last very long. Now, that's smart marketing. Like these guys like tapes again. We'll just sell them shit that's gonna break. I'll paint them and make some money off them.
You want to know what the color of the year is to go with the dragon?
Orange.
It's green.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, it's my year, bitch.
Fuck you. I was gonna give you the green clipboard because I have an orange one, but you are not getting this now.
Oh, but I love it.
This is mine. It's still wrapped in the plastic.
I didn't mean it.
Did I pay $3 for this? Jesus Christ.
I didn't mean it.
You're getting a nice gift.
I didn't mean it. I gave you a mug.
Oh yeah. Well, that's about the same price.
So the crystal of the year is going to be the ruby.
Ruby, Soho.
Oh,
Destination Dragon.
So, yeah, I'm finding these really interesting things here about this.
You looking up stuff on that Atari? You excited?
No, I'm looking up stuff on the dragon still, on like what it means to in the Chinese mythology of like what it actually means.
He's just like all I need is Capri Sun, and you reboot a few gigapets, and I'll get a Furby. I'll be killing it. They did
I got my nostalgia is broken, dude. I think we touched on this a few times in the show, but I don't. It's so negative in my brain now. Nostalgia. It's so hard to rewire my brain in that regard because when I think about my childhood and all the things I used to love, I was viewing that from the lens of a child, and now I look back and I have the memory of when I was a kid, but I'll go and try to revisit some of these things, and then I get sad because it doesn't hit the same because it's not the same brain viewing the things like. The movie Kung Pao, I thought it was so funny. I thought it was so good. I'll rewatch it now and I'm like, oh God, this is not funny at all. Wait a minute. And it's quotable and I'll quote it still to this day. Like I'll hear someone make a bird sound as a joke and my brain will immediately go, I'm just a birdie too. like for fuck's sake. So I get the idea of nostalgia being like a good thing. But like I want to leave the memories as memories. I don't want to revisit things. I hate the idea of like in this I don't know if this is a difference in the way that you and I view the world, which like we're all about like learning from another person. So I want to hear like what you have to say about this. But my usual worldview is that when you look behind you to see like where you've been, you're not going that way though. You can't go that way. You literally cannot. Like when it comes to time, dude, it's only forward.
That's what this old art professor said because they were like 70 and they were really like well, you just can't. Because I'm making all this nostalgic art and they're just like, well, you can't ever go back. And it's like, yeah, thanks.
Well, you can reinvent.
Yeah, I would say like with the Atari, like I'm reinventing new memories. I want to keep Atari simple. It's never going to be awesome again, like because it was like the only thing that was there. And most people, you play an Atari game, you get bored in seconds. But I'm like, what if I actually commit? You know, like Abso and I or friends, and we just play. We don't just Netflix and scan through the games that we have. We actually sit down and play a game and compete or try to get make it a thing for a week or.
So
I think I'm gonna start doing that maybe in my when I get back into streaming, once the whole office is set up, that just actually sticking with something, taking it back to a simpler day.
You're talking about
and trying the behavior.
Actually immersing yourself in the content from that era instead of just thinking about, oh man, the times when, oh, back in the day. Instead of going like that, you're talking about literally like shutting out the other parts of the world and allowing yourself to actually explore that era again, which I'm all for that. That sounds awesome. Like, that's the type of nostalgia that I feel is negative in my mind, is the kind where you talk about the good old days and it's like, nah man, there was never really good old days, but we can revisit what was good. I like that idea of just revisiting it.
Well, here's the thing. We're living the good old days right now, dude. Because when you're my age, your age is my good old days too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the thing. That's the thing with age. And like when you think your 20s, like, you don't have to reflect back to when you were 8 or 14. Like, it becomes like the older you get, the reflective marks. Like, that's why I say life's like levels, and you just keep proceeding up levels. And then there becomes tons of them. So it's like
this is becoming
you're all over the map.
This is becoming a year recap for Rise of Mind. I love that we're going back on the levels thing too. Like, I love that concept that you came up with. Like, I feel like I'm on maybe level 3 out of 50.
Well, it's
a lot. There's a lot to go, but
I do decades, but it's kind of off because level 1 is actually ages baby to 10. So it's like the 0 part. So when you're actually getting to be 10, you're on level 2. So it throws it off a little in my head, but respectively 0 to 10's level 1 tutorial.
You want to make that part of the deep dive?
Sure, yeah, I could talk about that.
Let's go into it.
But to what you were saying,
deep dive.
I just wanted to say, oh Jesus Christ, we got fucking weaponizing the fucking.
No, I'm not weaponizing it this time. The damn fireplace is back. Keep talking. I'm gonna figure this out.
Ingvar fucking Sentinel. See, it's just gonna distract him nonstop.
It is.
And then he'll be like, "Where are we in the conversation?"
No, I'm
shit.
listening. I'm actively exhausting myself trying to listen and do this at the same time.
I had a buddy who said you can't do two things at the same time because you always compromise. You're doing two compromise things.
I found it.
Doesn't mean it's one. You have to cut it. All right.
I fixed it.
Anyway,
I fixed it.
So before I get into this levels and reflective talk, I just want to say, me being reflective, I was just talking about looking back, and you're like, oh, I try to go back and I try to do this shit. I was gonna say, welcome to your 30s, bud.
Yep.
Because like you've gotten to it, like when you're in your 20s, you're nostalgic about being a child, and like silly stuff a lot. But then you get to a point where you move past that, and you get to a point where it's like, oh, I can afford the stuff that I could never have. Some people get into collecting figures they never had, or things they weren't allowed to have. It becomes way to reclaim independence and acknowledge you're an adult, because I think the hardest thing of the 30s is trying to elbow in to the adult world. And good thing is, when you're 40, you get to fucking elbow in and stand there and start doing stuff. And some people start earlier. I'm late bloomer with everything, but you're an ass. You're a kid. You're on the tutorial. And you're when you're a teenager, you're dealing with all your hormones, and then when you're 20, you're like trying to figure it out and claim independence, but you're still kind of a dumb kid. So adults never take you serious. And then when you get to 30, they start taking you a lot more serious. Older folks and stuff, or your bosses or senior, your family. And then in your 30s, you start to figure it out. You're like, my childhood doesn't exist anymore. I'm an adult. Things are moving forward. I'm gonna fucking die, dude. I've lost a lot of people. Mortality is starting to get shooken up. You're like, I got to take responsibility for myself, or suffer. And then your values start to shift in, where you're like, oh man, I want to fuck off and have a terrible diet, but I also want to live long enough for my friends and family and writing and art. We've talked about this before. So you start to figure that out. So you're in a process where you've walked into the adult world, figured out like a lot of what you think, but you're really refining the values, and you'll refine people too. You'll be like, no, this isn't for me. This isn't for me. You start. That's why old people get so stubborn.
Right.
Because they're just checking off boxes. They're like, I don't fucking care about this. I don't fucking. And then when you talk to them, it's like, nah. They're so dismissive. Like, don't even start the conversation. You're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to convince me. We're not going to argue about politics. We're not going to argue about religion. I've been there. I've done that. You go on Facebook right now. It's 20s, 30s, fucking 40-year-olds. Like, I hate to say it, fighting about politics and stuff, and it's useless pig pen. And it's just them not being comfortable with their own values. And I don't fight for presidents. I fight for values. Those values inform my decisions like that. But that's what took me a long time. And I'm sure people value things more. But once I started to clear out, like, it's about promoting creativity 24/7. It's about connecting with people. The connectedness and creativity are my high values. But it took me a while to realize that. And now I know the people I should be around and the people I should work with based on those values. So now that's when you start to get taken serious, because then you walk in, you're like, no, dude, I'm just into this. And you have to kind of learn to fight for it. Like it's your little brother or something. Like people be like, we don't need art. And it's like, no. Or it's like, no, well, that's against my values. So whether I want to speak up or not, it's my fucking obligation in this world. I don't know what the 50s is like, but I felt a lot younger moving into my 40s than I did my 30s. And that's a weird thing you might experience that, and people might have experienced that before. But 30 seems so huge, and then you realize, oh no, it's not, and I'm just getting started if things go right. But I don't know. It takes us a long time to figure it out. And my grandmother died at 93 years old, and she was like, I never felt old. I know I am in an old body. Like I know CP's gotten a little bit gray and stuff, and I haven't slept for shit, so I'm a little saggy. I don't have that tight. I'm home alone over here. I don't have that tight youth. CP's a bald guy. I lost my hair. I like it. I rock it now, but. For a while I had to deal with the adjustments of I'm losing my hair, I'm getting gray. It's like I am physically getting older, but I still feel like an 8-year-old some days. I still feel like a 20-year-old some day. It's hard you never shake that.
I was just talking to a close friend about a shirt that whenever I put it on, I'm 12 again. There's something about the design, the color. It's like I'm no longer 35. Like I put this shirt on and well, now I'm just gonna go put some pizza rolls in the oven and start playing some Halo.
Do you have that shirt? Is that a shirt you own?
I have it. Yeah.
You should bring that over, dude. I want to see you put on that shirt, and we'll play some Atari or something. You can go full into the mode.
I thought you wanted to see it right now.
Oh no, you can bring it, but you can do it now. I'll talk to the chat. If you want to go grab that.
Chat. Also, chat, is my audio okay? Because I changed something, and now the bars look drastically different than they did before. Like I don't know.
It's okay.
I don't know if it sounds
within that sentence, it cut a few times, but and robot. But I don't know if you can hear me.
The audio they hear is different from what you hear.
Oh yeah. Fuck me. It's don't take that out of the context. Storm's gonna be putting these. Storm's gonna create a montage. I swear, it's gonna be like fuck me. It's shit like that, like burrito, some shit like that, man. And then he'll send it someone to make a mix of it. It'll fucking be a meme or some shit. I'm watching you, Storm.
So
all we need is love. Yes, Scarlett. I think so. Yeah, the bass. Yeah, speaking of refining it and dialing it back to there it is.
I should be wearing this for the show, actually.
Dude, you got a fucking Ram NASA. That's the Ram space. What the fuck?
Yeah, why
That's
am I
the
not
Ram
wearing
space
this more often? Like,
dude, that's a pretty rad look, man. It almost looks like it's your face because like you'll see it in post, dude. But like the eyes and the nose, the rocket looks like your nose. Make a weird sound. Keep it on. Hold on. Put that back on your head.
Wait.
Make a fucking.
Woo!
No, like you're an alien. Say barter with me. Like, be like, hey, where can I get some ship parts for this cruiser? All right, dude. Well, I don't know if I can swing that. What if I go down to this system and I do a trade with this spice?
Only money.
Only money. What's your English? What's your language? Money. My tricks don't work on me. Only money.
Only money. Oh man, one of the most racist things that George Lucas ever made.
No, that's not probably the most racist thing. Jar Jar Binks is pretty fucking bad. He's just, I don't know, like that. Those whole prequels, he was like on the edge of the woke world. Dude, that time, man, people were pulling some shit.
Yeah.
Go back to early 2000s, and then all of a sudden we're like, we got to clean this place up. It's getting out of control. But yeah, it is unfortunate when you do like those. Transformers did it, dude. Michael Bay was doing it.
Yeah,
I got so pissed off with some of that
stereotypes. Shit. That's going to be one of the first episodes of next year for our show is talking about stereotypes.
We're gonna get ourselves in trouble with that. Fucking two white guys. We gotta get some fucking. We gotta get some color on this show, man. Fucking. We're gonna be preaching the white cisgender. Well, I'm not really that, but whatever.
I got someone lined up who wants to talk about the race issue already. One of my friends, her name's Alicia. She's struggled with being mixed race her whole life, and wanted to. I was like, we'll be on the show. We kind of want to talk about that. We want to talk about that from a place of love, really. Like we want to just bring some positivity back when it comes to that subject. It's like we should be able to talk about it without being all like, oh God, you know. But
yeah, that's true. That's true. Like,
that's on the menu for the new year.
That's me leaning boomer, you know, where it's like oh man, it's because they're always like so concerned. Like that's the funny thing. They're always like, you know, am I being safe? Am I gonna get in trouble? But then they're like, I'm pissed off because I can't say this word anymore because it meant this when I was a kid. I didn't know it was heavily ingrained in racism. And then it's like, well, that's why you can't use it anymore, dude.
That's what we're learning now.
They're taking my words away. It's like I lost a few too, man. Like they weren't cool. We used to use some words in the 80s for our friends that weren't cool.
I used some words in the 90s that weren't cool.
Yeah. I mean, people were using the R word for a long time, man.
Yeah.
You know? And like there was a song, let's get R worded, and he, you know, like that was like 2008 or something.
Yeah. It was.
You know? Shit wasn't that long ago. But it's give and take. You know, some stuff is pushing it too far, but you know, you can prove a reasonable thing where it's like, yeah, that's not cool. And usually you find when you're using these words, as you said, like when you be an adult, you're like you slip up and get in trouble and you feel bad. You're like, oh man.
Well, we'll dig into that, CP, when we do the full episode on it.
Oh yeah.
We will.
What the fuck? I freaking love that shirt, Scarlett. Yeah.
Well, I had left to get the shirt, and we were talking about nostalgia and the way it feels sometimes. So like, whenever I put on this shirt, I feel like I'm 12 again. And you think I should bring it with me because we're gonna have like some nostalgia moments in the arcade.
Well, you're going to a place that's like has a lot of nostalgia too, so like unfortunately, like I'm getting older, so it's getting less and less showy, I guess the word, less and less color. You know, this is very bright, but some of the stuff's getting a lot more clean. And when the Dreamers arcade wasn't so much the arcade, I used to just have collectibles like just stacked in this room, and people would walk in here and they'd be like, oh my God, this is like my dream room from when I was 14 years old. And they just look around, you know, and it's so nostalgic. I've had people come in here and kind of like get overwhelmed, you know. That's why one of the reasons I started, well, just the amount of volume of stuff, just the processing of all the stuff around them. But I learned that mainly in art school, less is more. So that's something that's my wisdom. That's my old man advice for you and anyone younger coming up. Less is more. Like, you don't need I mean, if you like to collect, I did it for a while and it's like, that's fine. But when it all came down to it, I was like, what really is important? Example, I liked Star Wars. I'm not so much these days, but the toy that I have somewhere over there is my only Star Wars toy on display, even though I have piles of them in storage. It's the trash compactor scene from the first Star Wars, where Leia, Luke and Han and Chewie all fall in a trash compactor, and there's a monster down there, and then the trash compactor goes to crush them, right? And that was all that resonated with me a lot, and it stuck with me. And that's the one toy that I want to look at, and it's here in the Dreamers Arcade. Now, why does that make sense? Why is that the toy that existed? The trash compactor scene from Star Wars.
A little on point for you, honestly. That's incredibly on point for you.
It's Gloom. It's when I first started to realize my connection with trash and main culture. My dad's like hoarding and all this stuff.
Connection with the garbage.
Yeah, it felt comfortable. It felt like reality. And so, like, they were in kind of my world, even though they were in Star Wars. It's like, oh, welcome to the junk. Yeah, now you're in Maine. But
welcome to the junk pile.
This, and that's the point. For anyone who doesn't know, I have a story that has a giant sentient pile of trash, and I've made a lot of work just in general about identity and consumer culture and how we define ourselves, how nostalgia plays into it. A lot of the stuff that we're saying, and I go on tangents about it, and then it's really amazing that when I boil it all down, when I get rid of more and more gift stuff, get rid of things, don't think you have to keep all this stuff, thin it out.
Yeah.
And then when I started doing that, I look over at that Star Wars toy and I go, that's the Star Wars toy. That's the only one I need out. That's the Dreamers Arcade is what it is. That's come to fruition, and it's part of my identity and values. But if I had 100 figures around, I'd never figure it out, dude.
I have a few things.
Survivor Island, your shit, just like the Post-its.
Yeah. Oh my god,
just like the Post-its, man.
That's the quote. That's the quote of the episode. Like, Survivor. What was it? ADHD Survivor Island. You just get rid of some of your shit.
Get rid of write all your ideas, all your ADHD stuff on Post-its. And then when we realize it's a fucking pile of 100 things, and you're like, I'm one person, and that would take years to do, you start throwing out the ideas or combining ideas.
Yeah,
that's one way to keep ideas. Like, if they're like story situations and emotion, you can put them together.
Isn't that what you've done with the Dreamers Arcade, though? That's like with the story of the Dreamers Arcade. It's like all the stories you want to tell in one.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing
pretty
with my
much.
stories too, like Void Sever and the 42 story, and then the novel I'm writing. All of those have similar elements in them. They all represent the stories I want to tell, that I want to get across.
Yeah, 42. Did you see that thing I sent you? It was
I added
a
to
rap
it.
lyric.
I added to it, even if you want to look at it.
Oh, you did in that thread?
I did.
Oh, I don't even have my phone, but yeah, we'll talk about that. We can talk about that after the show.
Where's your phone?
That's a tangent.
Where's your phone?
I don't. Okay, here's a resolution. 2023. Less screens for pleasure, I guess. Like, if you're working or broadcasting or doing the podcast, like, more power to me or us, or anyone doing it.
Touch grass.
Yeah, touch some grass or touch some ass. I don't care, but it has to be real, and it has to be feel like, get some real shit in your.
Why not both?
Get a bunch of material. Get a bunch of materials.
Trash pile, right? So they only made 5,000 of these mugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's 300 and change million Americans, and how many of those are Death Wish coffee fans? How many of those wanted one of these mugs, right? And it's got to be over 5,000. I feel really lucky to have one of the 5,000. You know, like, talk about real shit. This is the kind of stuff I collect, like something that there's just not many of. Or this is why I like going to conventions and buying art. Sometimes you can buy something there's literally only one of.
Yeah, at this guy's booth a lot.
Yeah.
Most of my shit is one-offs. Like I make lots of one-offs.
I have.
That's the ADHD.
I have a one-off of CP Sketch. I have a sketchbook. It's Rise and Mine themed. That there's only going to be ever one. I'm going to treasure that
Yep.
shit.
Yeah, you got to write in it though. Don't. It's not too precious.
I've been looking.
I'll
It's over there. Oh,
I fall into preciousness. Do you do that, like where you have the thing and you just don't use
of
it,
it-
or it's too precious, it's too good?
Some of it, it's not even like I have some stuff on my shelf that it's like it's not even good shit, but I find
Get rid of
I
it.
find it to be precious because of the memory. Like Scarlett was talking about, I do fall into that like the firsts and the like. I have a box of like love letters from when I was puppy love. Like when you're a kid, you don't even know what it is. I have a box of those still.
Hold on. I've got a briefcase.
Of like all the bullshit from your life, just you can't let go of.
No, like journals and old
Journals,
letters and stuff like that. Like stuff from when I was like in high school that I don't read it, but when I get to that certain point in the Dreamers Arcade, I'm gonna use all of it and then I'm gonna burn them.
Yeah,
They'll be
good
gone.
idea.
You got to figure out a way to like all the stuff you collect. I would say at this point in your life, definitely start figuring out what you really need and what you're going to use and what's important.
That ties
Rules.
into our talk here of the new year. Like if you do anything with your 2024, like how about new beginnings? Like take all the stuff that's holding you down and get rid of it. Like if it's holding you back from your truth, from your absolute who you should be, who you think you should be, not like who other people think you should be, who you think you should be.
Mm-hmm.
If it's holding you back from that vision, you can trash garbage, burn it out.
Absolutely. Yeah. We were talking about the
Can Epstein that shit. Just gonna get it out of there. Sorry. My brain immediately went there, and I'm just gonna say it. It's not great, but it's not bad either.
Hey man, it's just jokes.
It's
If
a
you
good-
guys get offended, we're just fucking
Good
around.
metaphor.
Remember, it's supposed to be a little funny. So you got to push the envelope sometimes, which is dangerous in these days.
Right.
These days and age, it's dangerous in these days and age. But no, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. And what I do, I've had ADHD my whole life, and I realized like I got diagnosed with it when I was like 40. It was like insane.
Hold on. Does ADHD cause you to hold on to stuff? Is that a symptom of it?
No, I don't know about that, but as far as like managing my life, I had to set what we're talking about, structure and
I see.
rules.
Okay.
And when I don't, I'm at my worst. Like the last couple of years have been really tough because I ripped my house apart and I have all this work to do, and now I'm trying to get it all back together. This is the year, and I'm making that big push before the new year. So when the new year comes around, I have more structure. I've made some lists. I've got some framing up. So I have some places to start. I have some rules in place, or with the Post-its, rules. Like if you're not, aligning with my values, then, you got to go. Like create a structure. And I do this with my art projects. What is the intention? I want to do all kinds of stuff, but if it doesn't match what I'm intending, then oh nope, you're out of here. And it's the only way I could survive was rules and routine. I was very routine for
I mean that's
OCD almost.
I've been trying for probably the last 20 years to set like realistic routines and realistic goals and all these things, and that's the main reason why I started to medicate myself for ADHD, because I found myself like constantly fighting with my own desires.
Yeah.
And none of the goals were being met, and none of the structure was being followed, and like I know what I need to do and always doing the other thing. So like that's going to be my it's not going to be a resolution. I actually hate the idea of a resolution, but I think that if we go into the new year with some idea of what we would like it to look like, that's still healthy. But giving yourself
like,
like an
what do you want?
ultimatum, that's kind of damaging
Yeah.
for people like you and I.
Yeah, well, here's the-
Ultimatums almost always fail for people with ADHD.
Here's where I'm at with it. How about like think of you have a whole year. You know what you got done this year roughly,
Yep.
right? And you know the time frame and how it goes and
Sounds like a Hallmark card, but 365
Yeah.
opportunities. Like
yeah, we don't know. We don't know pain, uncertainty, constant work. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna endure all that. But thing is, man, like you have to set a realistic goal. Like, what can I really get done
There it is.
for this
We're
year?
going.
But what? Oh shit! Yeah, I see we're on. Morning,
Pain,
everybody.
uncertainty,
Welcome to
constant
the
work.
Risiest mind of the risest.
Sorry, I wanted to make it apparent here.
Viking.
Uh-oh.
Viking.
Uh-oh. I didn't mean to do
Yeah, we get
our tech.
Yeah, we get.
Yeah. Yo. What's up? We're back.
Okay. But yeah,
setting constant work.
Setting realistic expectations. Like this is going to be a crazy year. Get this, guys. You might get to see this. So this is the year where I am going to get in pretty good shape again.
Yeah.
And there's a reason. That's what I did. I had to give myself a reason and a goal. Now my goal, the first book in the Dreamers Arcade is called Breakdown. You know, it's a lot of everything breaks down. People break down. Computer systems break down.
So this band that did our intro song, they have a song called "Welcome to the Breakdown." Well, it's not called "Welcome to the Breakdown," but they say it's called "Breakdown," I believe, and they say "Welcome to the Breakdown" in the song.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, whenever you talk about
cool.
this,
The breakdown.
It plays in my mind.
Think of that.
Memory. It's the whole line is memory bound. Welcome to the breakdown.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So the breakdown for me is like the last couple years of my life. So it's fresh in my head, and I have all this stuff to work with. So that's the rules. The rules are what's the breakdown, even though it's in a story. It's like, what were the rules of the last couple of years? What's the way it really went? What's the emotions really behind that? So you can write something that's truthful and honest. But it creates a structure and it creates rules. And then it's like, oh, wait, it's level 4 that we're starting at. And then it's like, it's also based in time, and time and the aesthetic will inform that. So now I start to know what it's supposed to look like because of the time period that it's in. I start to know the rules more around it. And that's just kind of how I rein myself in. But this next part, which is the underground Dig Dug type part of the story, that's much like when it reflects to when I was a kid, right? So Dig Dug was the game that was out when I was a kid. So I would use the motif, I'd use the colors, the aesthetic, and make it feel older, but tying it into the narrative at the same time. But I'm also talking about the beginning, and I wanted to have the beginning of this apocalypse, and I'm just bewildered. Nobody knows who they are. I don't know who I am, and I'm just disheveled and ripped clothes and like me starting out in this world. But I crawl in this hole, which is the fear. That's the fight or the flight. I crawl to get away, and then all the stuff that I confront while I'm down there, it's much like it gets quickly into like what my 20s was like. It has a lot to do with all my friends growing up, my cousins and stuff, in this 2-player game. And it ends like it's about a lot about alcoholism, masculinity, toxic masculinity, and it ends with me getting out of there and dealing with this stuff and rising to the sunshine, into the field of flowers. And that's where I meet Space Viking, because now we're player 2. We do the Rise in Mind podcast. This is art imitating life. This podcast is the first story the second story I'm writing. And it's also like I get jacked and in super shape. And so it gives me a direction. I've got the breakdown. I have to get that done. because time is kicking on now. Because now, if I'm talking about the next stage, we've done Rise in Mind for over a year. We are doing this, and now this is the part of my life. You know, everything's going to happen in sequence, like kind of a year or two, reflecting back onto what actually happened in my life, aligned with what happened in my childhood, the same thing, aligned with what's happening in a post-apocalyptic world. So it's really multi-layered, but I figured out the rules because I would just tangent and post-it note for the rest of my life. So that's the thing.
Where can people see more of this story, CP?
Well, you can go to Dreamers Arcade on Instagram, and there's a lot of conceptual art that I did, like piles of stuff, conceptual characters, maps, and you can join my Discord. I don't have codes for that. Just whatever. You'll figure it out. Fucking figure it out someday.
No
I'll figure it out with you guys. Just keep hanging out. And then my website's down, but we do have a Dreamers Arcade, I think .com, and it has a few things. But
we have our own stuff too for Rise in Mind that should lead to everyone else's stuff, I think.
Yeah, so that's still branding off, but you can see lots of cool art. And I've got models. Okay. But I've got models that I've made of stuff, but yeah, I've been kit bashing and world building in my head for way too long.
Decades.
But I'm glad because I figured out a way. I waited until I got old enough to where it's a coming of middle age story. Hey, there it is. That's kind of a one-off. I mean, they're all hand created. There was only 3 of those. I might still have one, but he's a little damaged.
Yeah.
Somebody bought one. You have one. What is that, chat? What does that look like to you? It's not one of Storm's toys that he left behind. And by toy, I don't mean ones that kids play with. That's fun. He's really ADHing out.
Well, no, I'm just I was trying to think of a segue to start talking about New Year stuff again, but I couldn't think of one. Beep boop.
Well, you came back.
Beepity. Looks like everything reconnected. Just fine. Sorry about that.
Hey, we're back. Are we back?
I think we're back.
Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Make sure you smash and fuck that like button.
Just fuck that like button straight up. Just give us a follow. We're trying to get to affiliate actually here on Rise in Mind so that we can get some emotes your way, and so we can have some of those cool redemptions. Those point redeems actually will help in the future. Like if we're going on tangents, we're gonna have some redemptions to help us with that.
Reel it in.
Yeah. I do like the tangent we're on though. Like I love how this relates to like building something new, like digging yourself out of that hole and becoming jacked. How many times did you have a New Year's resolution that had to do with getting in shape?
Well, I always wanted to lose weight, and I did a lot of times. I successfully have lost 1,000 pounds throughout my whole life. Probably also gained that. I'm an Oprah Winfrey. I fluctuate pounds easy.
Life is about fluctuation, undulation, reverberation.
Undulation. Yeah, I'm a big reverberation too. Vibration. Undulation, the wave, man. That's where it's at. This is us.
Yep.
We need to be more like this.
True.
But this is more like us. I'm more like this.
The last time I got in shape, it was for the wrong reasons, and that's why I didn't keep it off. Once I lost the girlfriend, gained all the weight back.
Fucking vain. He's so vain, man.
It was vain at the time. At the time, it was vain. But
well, you're gonna be old soon. It won't matter.
When I look back on it, though, I have this trouble of like, man, I really want to be that fit again, but I don't have the same motivation that I had then. Like now, it's like, oh, it's just for me. So fuck do I care? You know, like
now you're gonna start realizing there's areas you'll never get back to. Like there's one thing when you're 20 and you can work out all the time, but then there's just like,
that's the negative.
I'm not gonna lose I'm not gonna lose this bit of flab here. I'm this is it.
That's the
This is
negative.
where
That's the negative nostalgia that I was touching on earlier. Like that's where it becomes a negative type. Think about times when you were a certain way that you can never get back to, or
but then
life
again,
was a certain way.
yeah. That being said, like I don't want to go back. I think I look damn good nowadays.
You're freaking sexy.
Somebody's like, you're getting more handsome every time you get older. It's like,
yep,
men do. You grow a giant fucking beard and cover your face and put a hat, and it's like, is that GQ's Man of the Year? I think it is.
Working men tend to age well.
I mean,
but
yeah, my father is in really good shape, and he's fallen and broke his back, and he's got stuff that he's not getting back. His full mobility and stuff. He just has to. That's life now. But yeah, he fucking crazy shape. He had friends that have been dead, like they died at 52, just bad health and a lot of drinking and stuff.
That's lice now. What the hell am I saying? Oh, I do have a Dreamers Arcade link for you.
Oh,
it doesn't work.
Storm of Iron's already following me. I think that's the whole chat.
Oh,
maybe Scarlett's come back
Scarlett's here.
Dude, you look. I can't believe he looks. He's gonna read the fucking comments too, I bet.
What comments?
The ones like when we start doing bigger on social media. He's gonna be there like these guys are a couple of, and stuff like that. Like that, those guys, this guy's don't know a fucking thing. And he's gonna read it and be like,
gotta read the comments.
No, you don't. You never read the comments, dude. That's just for the comments. Like,
yeah. Dude,
that's what I heard.
A lot of these commands don't even work.
Yeah, because you've got bullshit tech over there, engineer. You moved the data lab to a new station, and it's just broke, dude.
Well, the thing is, the lurk command worked. Like, why is that one working, but nothing else is?
But half of them don't work half the time. They always break, right? Yeah. Don't these commands notoriously break all the time?
Well, no. Well, Stream Elements is the better one. I know you don't mean it in a personal way, but I pride myself on like learning these things.
Oh, all the little things. Well, the thing is, you got to learn them. You got to learn them off stream. He's like, because they're distracting.
No, this was because
that's your 2020 resolution.
This was a question I needed to answer, or else I wasn't going to be able to pay attention.
Oh, I'm just stretching.
Oh, you're good.
I'm Popeye, I guess.
So before we go into the breath of fresh air, what do you think the dragon's going to bestow upon you?
Oh, they're supposed to give me a gift?
No, it's more like, what do you think that means for you? Remember we went over like what it meant? Prosperity and abundance, what it's supposed to be for people.
Well, I don't think I need abundance. I mean, I could use some more cash. I always say, well, this is the thing with energy. I said a couple years ago, I'm like, oh, spiritual fucking whatever you are. If you direct the energy of money into my life, I will use it for good. If you continually to just flood money in, I will do things, buy things for people, and
it's
be altruistic without being like a Mr. I won't say it, but these guys, I'm gonna help a homeless person.
It's authority, prosperity, and good fortune.
Yeah,
the year of the wood dragon supposed to bring.
I'd like some good fortune. I'd like that more than anything. I think this year's been a lot of bad fortune, and it's strength. It's a strength building year. Very little joy and happiness, which is a bummer, but a lot of pain and suffering. And it's I've got some resilience. I don't need this much resilience, but I'll take it, I guess. I'm gonna be really good if the world ends, but not today, Junior.
Not today. I would like some. I would like some authority. I think that's the prosperity and good fortune. Sure, I'm gonna keep working hard, and hopefully that brings some good fortune. But the authority thing is something that I haven't had. Like, people usually think about that as authority over others, but I haven't been very authoritative with myself Like I'll set goals, and then I'll be like, whatever, it's just for me. Like I was saying about the getting in shape, like it was so that I could be more attractive to someone else. The only reason I was doing it. And now that I don't have that motivation, it's like, why do I need to be fit? Oh, when I first started working out way back, my goal was so that I'm not useless in a disaster.
Oh yeah.
That was the main reason. I didn't want to be that guy, like completely useless, like trapped under a big heavy thing, not unable to lift it off of myself. I wanted to be able to lift it off of myself and then go lift pieces of stuff off of other people. Or that person's about to fall, I'm able to hold them up. That used to be the goal, and I think I might try to get back to that goal. Like I just want to be able to be strong enough to survive a disaster and help others in the disaster situation.
It's interesting. I was just talking about the apocalypse, and you're creating that same situation. They say ADHD people, you do that. Like we're always ready for the disaster. ADHD people make good firemen and police, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Because they're always policing. Like I have a hard time policing other people. Like when you're driving shit. I don't have road rage. You when you're in a bad mood, you just start focusing on other people and like what they're doing. Yeah, I don't need to fucking do that. But it's part of it's thrill seeking and all that stuff all rolled into one where. Yeah, it really works well with us. So we should be like cops or something. Hey, what's going on, Officer Matt? Did you freeze again? Oh.
Officer Matt.
Officer
Matt.
No, Officer CP Sketch in the building.
Officer Crafton.
Yeah, I know.
Officer Pettingill.
But I thought it'd be Officer Matt would be funny.
It would be. It'd be
hey, don't dox us, man. They're gonna take our insurance information.
They already have all the information that they want. ChatGPT made it so anyone can hack anyone now. You don't even have to be good at coding anymore.
I know, like hey guys, hey, just between this is just between you and me.
Whoa. Hey.
Sassa. We're gonna have a good show.
What's up? What's going on?
But just between us, I forgot what I was gonna say because this got too goofy. Just between us, is a lot. Just between us, Matt and I, we got a lot of. We're gonna have a lot of flannel, and just between you. So, the password is vagina.
Vagina.
Have you ever seen the Cable Guy?
Yeah.
They play Douglas. That's what they're playing. They're playing porno password, like adult password.
Oh my god.
Penis. I love Jim Carrey. I love that guy. Now I'm really off what I was going to say. I can't tell you the secrets.
Just between the two of us, what were you going to say after that? What was just between us?
I have no idea. Because we were talking about...
I want some more authority over my self-preservation. No, I want some more authority over my self-actualization. That's the word. I want to actually do the things that I tell myself I'm going to do. And I want to be authoritative about it. That's how I'm going to bring in this new dragon energy. I'm gonna be the dragon.
All right.
I'm gonna be the dragon.
Big wood dragon energy over here.
Big wood dragon energy.
That's right. That's right.
Enough bullshitting myself into oblivion here.
So here's a good exercise that will help.
Yeah.
Because like I'm aligning like the fitness thing with something that's bigger. I want to do this art imitating life thing. It's important to me. It's now or never. I'm on a track and I just have to stick with it. This is leading up to like where I'm 50 or maybe even a little older.
Yeah. Like
to get all this stuff done. It's this process that I'm going through. And broke and brick man, I'm with the lack of sleep, I keep bricking up. 99%. I'm like working for Congress over here.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
What?
Anyway.
If I have my phone in my pocket, this is a comedian that I'm quoting here. comedian on
Oh,
TikTok.
yeah.
If I have a phone in my pocket and the TikTok's on my phone in my pocket, does that mean there's Chinese men in my pocket?
Yeah,
that comedian's great. He's so good at that congressman impression.
It's so boomery, silent generation.
If my wife is taking my pants to the dry cleaner and I leave my phone in my pocket in those pants, does that mean that those Chinese men are gonna go through the dry cleaners and my pants are gonna come out all wimbly bimbly? I'll have to give that guy some credit. I gotta somehow link him in the YouTube video at least.
Yeah, you sent me that before. Yeah. You could put some. You could link stuff in Discords too, like
well, we gotta make a Discord. Still, New Year's resolution: make a Discord for us.
Oh man, another Discord.
I've had too many freaking Discords to worry about lately. And they end up becoming microcosms among their own. And if they don't take off, then it's like, what am I even putting all this effort in if no one's gonna hang out in this thing and chat? You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, it'd be like Storm and Slater would talk to us. Yeah, so it would just be like our group text, but online.
Like I use Storm's Discord as a great example. Like he's created a really welcome space for people to just talk about their life, and people will come in there the first thing in the morning. Good morning, everybody, and then people will start chatting in there, and it's great. I'd love to have that, but I want it to be organic. So someday we'll have something like that. Yeah.
The Dreamers Arcade Discord does have a little organic stuff happening because partly Spacey and Abso have been holding that fucking thing down. I don't even say anything in there. Every once in a while, I said 2 sentences in my Discord, but it runs all the time, and I'm like, this is weird. Thank you, Abso. But I remember what I was going to say based on all the stuff before I forgot. I just want to say it's important
between you and us.
Yeah, but that part is forgotten forever.
Hey there.
Hey.
Listen,
wait a minute, dude.
Listen, look, we're gonna be the dragon.
Yeah, double wood.
double wood dragon action.
That's some for Storm's DP. Dragon.
We're gonna fucking kill Falcor together.
Yeah, we are gonna kill Falcor. I liked Falcor. I didn't like the wolf, but maybe I'll make a wolf. Maybe we'll print out a picture and I'll burn it or something. We'll figure out some shit.
Why don't we make a T-shirt? The first Rise and Mind branded T-shirt. It's a yin yang, and one yin is Falcor, and the yang is the wolf, and they're circling each other endlessly.
That's kind of fun. That's our nightmares right there, man.
Yeah,
but like
our trauma is our circling each other and bringing new life.
Your trauma is eating my trauma's ass, though.
Well, my trauma is eating your trauma's ass, though.
Well, it's a friggin' yin yang trauma centipede. That's what that is, dude.
That is a circular, cyclical, ass-eating dragon wolf. Hot, sweaty.
Wasn't there a snake eating a snake in fucking culture?
I'm not even. That's Ouroboros, yeah.
Yeah, ass-eating snake.
That's what capitalism is. It's a snake that eats itself.
Oh, okay. So he defined that today, breaking ground. All right, let's talk about capitalism.
Nope, stop. No, sorry. That was my fault. We're stopping that before it starts. No, we're gonna dragon this year up. What were you gonna? Yeah. What did you realize you were gonna say, or did I kill that on accident?
No, so what you should start penciling down if you want to work on the authoritative stuff. Yeah. I mean, my doctor's always saying like, oh, make lists, keep a calendar, and it's like, yeah, whatever, dude. And but when I do, it actually works. When I do the post-it notes, it works because it takes it out of my head and it makes it real. And I think that's something that you and I may be struggling with, our interior space versus the physical space, like getting caught in our own heads and not noticing what's happening in real time. It's very ADHD. But one thing, just not do anything. Just don't do anything. That's my advice.
Just stop. Stop
So you get your calendar, get your whatever, but write down on a list, be like, what are my values and what is important to me?
Authority.
Like whether that's, then you'll start to figure out your authority.
Well, here, dude, like, this is what Rise and Mind is about. Once I find a pen in my art studio that should have a pen.
Well, you just moved there, so it's like,
That's not really an excuse, because, like, here's my cup of treasures here. There's a microphone in here for no reason.
Yeah.
there's the keyboard cleaning brush. That's for cleaning the keyboard. Look at this shit. It's got all the fixins.
Oh,
and then
I will pull some bins here, and you will fucking freak out.
What I'm in this bin for is a pen. Let's focus up a bit. And you're saying to write down what? We're gonna do it right now on camera. Part of Rise and Mind.
Okay.
We're gonna do it right here, right now. Goals.
So
2024 goals.
If you want authority, you have to have things that you're passionate about, things you're willing to fight for, right?
Yes.
That give you strength, and you have to be an advocate or an activist for that stuff. What does it say? Zoo girls?
It says zoo girls. I'm going to find some zoo girls. I feel like I've already found some zoo girls today. No, not today. This last couple months.
I can be dating some animals. Wow.
Some straight animals.
I don't know. This guy's Hugh fucking Hefner, the Norse tribe, fucking Haljan.
People just fucking biting me all the time. I don't know what it is. No, we got
what?
2024 goals is what it says. It doesn't say zoo girls. It says 2024 goals.
You mean like your hog?
People, no, they're just biting me randomly.
Your hog?
No, not my hog. You're talking about goals. We're gonna get back into this. 2024 goals. What do we got? I got Void Sever. Fucking finish.
I got one for you.
Issue 2 of Void Sever.
Less hog. No, you're not supposed to do your goals.
Why not?
You're supposed. That's what you figure out based on the values.
Values and passions.
Do you need examples? I mean, you could probably look some up.
You have to have some authority about your values and passions. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. My top ones are connection and creativity. Okay.
You got what about 3 C's? It's like thick with 3 C's. It's connection, creativity, and community.
Yep. Yeah, I had a whole list of the C's that I picked from at one point. But those are the ones that I could remember. And it's like, why?
What does it mean? What does connection mean for you?
Well, they have to be your top. Well, what is connection?
What is it for you?
Well, I mean, it's
very personal.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, I could say lots of different things, connecting to the moment, connecting to the work that I'm doing, but mainly it's outreach, and it's connecting to other people. I'm an information sponge. I want to learn about all your human experiences and then process them in my head and gain insight and wisdom through your experience. And that goes for everybody that I meet. So I value that connectedness because I'm moving out of my one person humanity and trying to connect all this stuff. And then it's like, why is that important? It's like, well, for one thing, I was like an only child, and it was awkward for me growing up, and I didn't feel like I connected well back then. But then I learned a lot of skills and stuff, and I think that's really important. One of the things is Rise in Mind. Connecting with people, connecting with you, connecting with Storm, connecting with Scarlett, all these people that are hanging out and taking their time and chatting. And it's great. I have another little side thing I do. It's like energy feeds energy. If you're here for me, I'm here for you. And that connectedness is valid. If you're not, if I meet you for the first time and you're kind of a shithead, I'm not even going to connect with you. But like, I want to meet you and talk to you a few times and get to know everybody, ultimately to connect. And I think
energy feeds
that's
energy.
important for that's important for me, and that's important for the world. So I value that. And I've been isolated a lot, so I have to remember, like, dude, don't go into your little tomb of shit. Like, always be connecting with people, because disconnecting for me is dangerous. Getting into my head for too long, it's also volatile and important, and it also aligns with my next value, creativity. I want to I want to be there for the kid that wants to draw, that everybody laughs at him and says, like, get a real job, and things like that.
All jobs
creativity. Yeah, well, creativity is ingrained in me. I can't stop doing it, and it's the only thing that makes me blissfully happy. So I know I lose time in it. You know, it is an amazing thing. It is definitely who I am. So not only do I want to be a creator, what does that mean? So now we're getting into the deeper weeds of it all. So if I'm an advocate for creativity,
yeah.
then what does that mean beyond me being a creator? It's inspiration, right?
What are you trying to do to the world?
Inspire
what do you
people.
want?
Inspire people to be creative and yeah. So
Inspire?
it's my value because it's me. So it's like, why wouldn't I fight? Why would I get into all kinds of other shit? You know, like politics or religion and stuff like that. Like, it's just, I can do that, and I have, but it's like, I find it to be a distraction from creativity. Now, if I want to say something politically or socially, I'll do it with my art. So I'll do something as a reaction. You know, we had, I believe in activism and getting out there and working and kind of saying, like, hey, we could make changes here. But in some of that I do is making art, and for these causes and things too. So it's not always, you know, just drawing. It has a meaning that I want to inspire people to try new things. I want to connect people through my art. I want to connect people with themselves. It's not just my connection. I want you to connect more with you. That's what I'm doing right now. I want you to understand that Matt and Chat, that you can do this too. That's what I'm trying to connect, trying to plug in the Wi-Fi and be like, hey, you can figure this out. But what you have to do is you have to know where you're going. You can't just keep walking around in a circle because you're not authoritative.
Yeah.
You can't just walk around aimlessly in time. That's no authority. So you have to have some structure, but you also have to know why.
You have to have if this authority in your structure to bring forth prosperity and good fortune. You can't just have it bestowed upon you. You must create it.
And thinking from the point,
prosperity and good fortune isn't even about money. People always equate it to money, but it's not. It's not just. It's because
money's the language. You know, it's like it's the dominant species. It becomes the highest value, right?
Hey, you're the dominant species.
I don't know about all that, brother.
we are. You and I are part of the dominant species. What I mean is, like, sometimes we don't take the individual into account when we think about being the dominant species. I love that. Sorry, that phrase definitely blew up in my head when you said it.
Matt, he's over here thinking he's the dominant species now.
We all are.
My authority is already here, dude.
I am the dragon.
I am the dragon. Double wood.
When I was playing, SnowRunner. This a couple months back. I was playing with someone who has this, like, nonstop sort of dialogue of the way that they talk, and they're just like, this guy over here, he's using the crane. He's using the crane like he's big shot. He's a big shot over here, and I'm like, I am the crane. Like, it just fueled that. Like, I am the crane. Like, and then I fell off the mountain. I did not crane very well. So I'm afraid to be like, I am the dragon, because now it means the year is going to go terribly.
Well, that's the thing, though. You failed, but you know, like, failure is the path to learning and success. You got to fuck up a bunch of times, and you know, you have to learn how to do it right.
The great philosopher Jake the dog from Adventure Time once said, "Being bad at something is the first step to being kind of good at something."
Mm-hmm. You think I can make this art because I didn't, I did it from day one. I fucked up and did everything wrong for so long that I realized like that wrong is wrong, and now I have to start doing a different approach. In failures,
I'm writing that in the 2024 goals list too.
There you go.
Wrong is wrong.
Yeah, that's a pre-court for you there. That's he's the soul of Trent.
Peter Precourt. Shout out Peter Precourt. Look him up.
Shout out Peter Precourt.
Come up, people.
But yeah, wrong is wrong. Oh, I can hear my echo somehow. What the fuck is going on? It's probably on your end.
Leaning too far close to the.
Oh, I got you. That's what happens.
These
all right.
Need to be.
Yes.
I need new.
Write it on the list.
New soft things.
Write it on the list.
That's what the 2024 list should be. Is don't put up with one of the 2024 mantras should be don't put up with something you can fix now for too long. Like fix it now. Don't wait. Fix it now. That's what it'd be. Don't wait. Fix it now. Because it won't get fixed ever if you don't fix it now.
Yeah, I remember what I wrote last year. Hey, getting ready for the apocalypse. You know that thing where it's like it isn't gonna help. Like you just have to do stuff now. Like you can only keep getting ready for so long, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm ready, and then you die.
We're gonna go into the breath of fresh air with that. Actually,
I thought we were already there.
No, we're in it now.
The breath of fresh.
It's time for the breath of fresh air.
Just happened with the audio. That audio.
Welcome to the breath of fresh air.
Breath of fresh air. That audio was fucked anyway. It was a little garbled on my end, but I don't know what happened. The restart was crazy. Okay, let's start the breath of fresh air. Hey everybody, here's your breath of fresh air for 2024. You're gonna fucking die. So what do you want to do? You're gonna fucking die, dude. Whether there's a heaven or a hell, that's who fucking knows. But here we are. You're gonna fucking die. So what are you gonna do? What do you want to leave on this earth? You got anything you want to do? You want to write a comic book? You want to just jerk off? I don't care, man. If that's what you really want to do, do it.
Why not both?
Yeah, Matt periodically likes to jerk it while writing. That's how he gets such wild content in his work.
Yeah, it's good. It's some good shit. It comes out really.
He's got one camera for the up for the stream where you see his face, and he's got his OF camera under the desk.
That's when I start my OF for the erotic fan ratings.
Ram only fans. There you go.
Only Ram fans. Only
this is
fan Rams.
This is too good. This is too good. You can have Matt up here.
Over there? What? Where? Up here?
Hey, he's available for weekends and D. Anyway,
I do birthday parties. Bachelorette parties. I'll do bachelor parties as well. I don't care.
2023 in it. Well, it's 2024 in it almost. We're still saying it's 2024 in it. It's gonna. I think saying 24 is a little bit better anyway. But I like the even numbers. But yeah, you're gonna die. You're gonna fucking die. So do something. So if you're gonna, hey Matt, what if you're gonna die at the end of this year? What would you want to get done? What is it? This is our life.
This is
man.
Exactly what
world's gonna end.
You sound like Joe now. This is the kind of shit Joe says. You know what I would want to finish by the end of the year?
That comes with age, because you realize
I want to make someone else's life better before the end of the year. Then I'd be happy if I died.
All right, that's easy to do. You can do that probably like tomorrow, dude.
I'll try to do that tomorrow. I might just jerk off and write tomorrow though.
Are you supposed to be coming by here? I don't know.
Well, I can do that on the way.
Oh, driving, jerking, and writing. Yeah. Editing the podcast, fucking talking on the phone. This guy is a true millennial.
Yeah, I don't.
You're almost Zoomer, dude.
No sense of self-preservation over here.
No, it doesn't matter. It's
honestly like if I died tomorrow, I can't say that I would be sad about what I've accomplished this year. So like for the coming year, I hope I can live the next year the same way. I mean, we've already gotten messages from people on this podcast of people that we've helped their life get better.
Right on.
They said thank you
that's
for
important.
Thank you for having this show. Thank you for advocating for men's mental health. We got one that said my son and I love the show. You've inspired us. I've gotten so many. It's like, yeah, we're doing awesome things. And then during my 1,000 follower celebration for my other channel, people have said like, you know, thank you for providing a space for us to hang out and have a chill time. And like, I've gotten comments on my art. Like, comments from other people are not the only things, though. Like, there's also times where I've just felt accomplished in what I've done. And so glad I got out of the retail and manufacturing world and went into social work. And because I feel like what I'm doing actually matters, even if it's a little bit, you know, small steps are still
there. It is.
Small steps are still steps.
That's your value, man.
Small steps.
You didn't
still
value,
steps.
Right? You didn't value those other jobs, but you found this one. And you like it because it's helping people. So you value helping people. And that might fall into connectedness. I use my creativity to inspire other people. So there's subheadings that tie in, but you can get the real core of it. And then once you know that you want to work with other people and you want to inspire, you know, like social work would be your avenue. I'm never going back to retail. I'm going to swim out in the ice lake and fucking be gone. You're not going to catch CP at the McDonald's.
I just wrote,
I just start walking around, dude.
I wrote on my 2024 sheet here, art heals.
Yeah.
Not just us, but people who experience our art.
Exactly. And well, you know, the Dreamers Arcade thing, it's a legacy thing. It's like, I hope I can finish it. I hope I can even start it. You know, you never know. Life's short, and you could go any day. It's not a living to be old thing either. You know, it's just random occurrences. You lose people all the time. Yep.
Yeah.
So you gotta keep proactive, and I would love to be able to. My goal is to leave a piece of art that represents me and a person and what I went through, because I'll be gone at that point, and then this fantastic side of it too that plays into the culture that I experienced, and other people will connect, and maybe other people in the future will be like, oh yeah, like this is what it was like during this time, because it's long gone. And I think that's important. I like history, so I'm preserving my history as a person. I'm preserving some of the history we all went through, whether it's technology change or global collapses of economy or pandemics and things like that. Well, we didn't have a global collapse of an economy. that'd be pretty crazy. But
the global economy, it's been completely destabilized. It hasn't collapsed yet, but it's keeping us destabilized.
But so yeah, that's just how I look at it. It's like, what are those values? What means the most to you? And then they start to create rules, and that's what I says that are important. It's like, given this situation, somebody says art's stupid, and now I'm like, you're stupid. There's my response. I gave you energy. You gave me that. I gave you it right back. So that's the thing. I distribute the energy evenly, or I don't even partake in it. But if you're like, I love you, and it's like, I love you too, dude, it's like equal energy. I do the podcast. But if we were like, fuck, nah, I'm late, it was someone who wasn't into it, you feel that, and it just becomes a drain, and happens in friendships, happens in relationships. It's a normal part of life. But yeah, that's part of the value system, and that's part of the connectedness, and that's part of the energy transfer. So now that I know that I value this stuff, connectedness is a hard one to define. Like, if you're a misanthrope and you're like, fuck the world and I hate people, I'm like, yeah, I'm with you on those days too. That's why I need to be more connected.
Is that what
For my own.
These are the things you want to. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, but it's like, that's why it's important, but it helps inform stuff. Like, I don't want to see people disconnected from things. I don't want to see people exiled or thrown away. I don't want to see a world where people are disconnected. It's important to me, important based on my experience. Connectedness can fall into poverty too. Like, I want to talk about what the experience was like growing up poor and how wildly different and out of touch this reality is from middle class realities, rich, just we don't even exist, or they do know we exist and it's just part of the structure. I don't need to get into the nuance
into community as well.
Yeah, well, it's important in how you want to have community. It's like, it might help me promote more democracy in my communities, and it also makes me active. Like, I do stuff in my local community because I think I can do something, and even if I don't, whatever, I fail, but you got to show up, and that's the important part. Like, connect with your neighbors. Like, we live in a world now where it's like, it's so easy to connect with people, and the internet is a way that, like, I've met a lot of friends, and then I've been able to connect with them out in the real world, and it's just enriched experience. But also unplug, and realize that there's a neighbor across from your house, and we're really quick about like sticking signs, stuff, keep the fuck out, but connect with the neighbors, connect with everybody, and connect. Here's another one: promote what your friends are doing. Not only, like, we've talked about this before, like, read your friends' work, like read one of Joe's. If I read one of Joe's books, it connects me with Joe. Like, do things for other people, and it'll connect. And then when we're connected, it's beautiful. When energy comes together, and we have these communities here, and we have communities in the Dreamers Arcade, it's amazing, dude. It's like,
it is a beautiful thing.
I get a great feeling out of it, and I think it's important, and that goes along with the creativity. But that being said, I have to be 100%, not just make art. I got to put art on the side of buildings that people can see and be like, oh, I can do this someday. I got to encourage the youth, not only like kids, public engagement,
public displays
and promote
of creation instead of affection.
Yeah, just getting stuff, getting art out there, and getting make sure you're bringing yourself to reality. It's like
public displays of creation. Sorry, just thinking.
And don't do it. And it's not like a flex, like, I'm on a wall. I got 2 walls downtown now, and it's like, and I have a fish that I painted, and then I did so much stuff for this downtown, working for 6 years, and I got a lot out of it. But I volunteered my time and connected for the sake of art. I worked thousands and thousands of free hours just for art. I would do art all the time if I didn't have to pay all these bills. And they're not tons of bills, but like, that's the thing. Like, I am just always going to be doing creative stuff. I will mentor people. I ask me for advice and critiques and stuff. I will always be there. I won't talk shit about people. If they're not around, I do that kind of stuff too. I think you have to have valid critiques. You have to do everything in a caring and positive way for the community. And so, yeah, I fight for it. And
slip the dogs of art.
That's the authority. Like, there's some stuff that happens sometimes, and I just straight up go, it doesn't even take me a processing minute. I'm like, well, that's fucked up. And I just know, and I don't even have to really explain it because everybody knows it's fucked up, but it doesn't take much to explain it. And then if it aligns with your value, like, we're not, didn't you probably were one of those people that wanted to get along with, because ADHD, well, it's just people. Like ADHD is one of those things where it's like I want to connect with people and
I more so fall in line with the I want everyone to get along, but I don't have to get along with everyone.
Okay. But that once I acknowledge that reality is impossible. Utopia isn't real, dude. I mean, it's just people are fucking people kill each other out there. It's a maniac thing. You know,
you reminded me of something that is actually a great no, I'm not going to end the podcast with this, but it's a great thing to talk about in the Breath of Fresh Air, where I saw a video of a bunch of futurists talking about, you know, what the future world's going to look like, because it's, you know, it was a video about 2024. And one of them in particular said that dystopia isn't sustainable. People will always rebel and will always create a new world. Utopia is just as equally unsustainable. A world that doesn't change is what people hate. They don't want a world to be static. Utopia is static. It's just on the different side of it. So what this guy proposed is this idea of a protopia, where we're always working towards positive change. It's not that we're looking for a perfect world. We're just looking for a better one. Better and better and better. And it's never going to become best. We need to realize that it's never going to be perfect, but we can always be working towards better.
But see, understand, like if you wrote that down, that's your value.
Yeah.
You say we, but you're like, oh, I want, like at the end of the day, it's like you wanting to have a better world. You know, it can't be perfect, but you want to work towards a better world. So that's your value. That's one of your values. Now, you can't say we, because there are people that don't. Well, they want to destroy this place, and they tear it up.
I don't think anyone wakes up in the morning saying they hate it and they want to destroy it. But their version of a better world is one where certain groups of people don't exist anymore, or their version of a better world is one where like everyone works their asses works until they die. Or
why do you think people blow up buildings? Why do you think people randomly kill people nowadays?
I think it's going to make a better world. They really think that's what's going to do it.
I think they want to show people their pain, and they want to make people full of fear.
They want to be seen.
I think it's the joke. I think it's the Joker. If you go into a place and you shoot up a bunch of people, you create social unrest. Like these people want the world to crack into pieces, and they want chaos. And I've stepped over that line before and looked at it before, and it's like some men, like the Joker, you know, some men you can't figure out. They just want to watch the world burn. And I realized that you can't figure everybody out, and we're not all working to make things better. Some people are actively working to make things worse. And that's a hard thing to grasp. And that's what people like, I don't understand why these things. It's like, because you're on the opposite side of things. So it becomes, I don't know if these people have a certain value system or what motivates them. You can come up, you don't know, you'll never know, because like I don't ever know what goes inside of your head. I'll never know the inner workings of my wife's head. I've known her for 20 years, but she just like, I assume these certain things about her, but I can't actually hear what's going on inside of her head. She could be lying.
I can let you into my head in a couple sentences.
But you could be lying.
I could be, but you're going to see that I'm not. I view the vision you have of the Dreamers Arcade and the Gloom Stack, the Earth covered in trash. I think that's already happened, and I want off. Yeah. I want to bring us towards a place where we are an interstellar species, because we've already trashed this planet. It might be too late for it.
he's given up. You know, throw your cans into the river.
I didn't give up.
You know,
I didn't. I tried. Too many other people gave up, and now I am being forced to.
We didn't try. This has been going on way before we were born.
That's another troublesome part of it, I guess.
The usage of it, we didn't know we'd get. We were just being productive, and we got more and more and more and more productive. And then you and I were born into a world, and we were raised and assimilated by school and our parents, and it was like, okay, this is it. But truth is, it's always, like you said, it's always changing. We're always rewriting the script.
Well, that's
And
right.
now
I mean,
midway through my life, this world right now is so different than the 80s. And if I live to be 80, the world now is going to look so much different than that. So it's like we're never going to be able to catch up with it. And I hope you just hope for the best.
What we kind of have to do is it's not necessarily about giving up and leaving the planet. It's about we can do that here too. And I'm realizing the thing that I really want is to restart and set up for the better. Like I want to reset society, and sometimes the way to do that is to go to another planet. But we could do it here. That's like your apocalypse idea. You could reset. Just hit the reset button. Let's go to our video game theme we have for our podcast here. Hit the reset button for 2024.
Yep. I figured something out. I figured out something in 2023, probably 2022. You know, the Nintendo reset button. I might even start the Dreamers Arcade with an image of this. It's a finger holding the Nintendo reset button. And I've been holding the reset button for a long time. And the thing is, when you see an image of a finger on a reset button, you don't know where that is in the process. It's either going to pop all the way back out and be off, or it's going to click in and be on. So I don't even know where the process is in that reset if it was just a finger. But yeah, I know I've been hanging on, and I'm just, it's hard to reset. There's a lot of stuff that I could idealistically say, like, we can change it up.
We're gonna hit that reset button with authority.
Yeah,
we could be the dragon.
Exactly. Mean it. Stick the piece of wood in the reset. Smash the fucking with the wooden baseball bat. The reset, but the dog's like, fuck yeah, let's reset and eat the fucking Nintendo, dude. 2024, innit? I'm ready to reset. Yeah. Let's go, dogs. We're gonna take over the world this year. Mm-hmm. That's what he's probably saying.
Let the dogs.
No, he's probably saying he's not worried about 2024. He's worried about fucking going outside and taking a piss and getting some kibbles and bits. Man, ignorance is bits, you know?
Like you talked about two ends of the spectrum, right? There's the people who want to watch the world burn. There's the people who want to change the world for the better, create a protopia. And then there's people that are literally just stuck in survival mode that just want to get the kibbles and bits and be on their way.
Yeah, and or maintain a basic standard.
The only wrong answer there is maybe don't kill people. Right, on the other end, like if you want to watch the world burn, okay, but maybe just watch. Don't actually.
But that's what they want.
Don't make the world burn. Like
you can't control that. They're just gonna. That's the uncertainty and the pain that we can't.
I don't want to dwell on that though. Like, what do we do about these people stuck in survival mode? Well, not do about, but like. What does the year look like for them if they're just gonna continue to just survive? And I'd like people to thrive, you know.
Oh yeah, and it's tough times too. Like everything has gone up so much. Like, people are commonly saying like, I make more money than I've ever made, but I'm the poorest I've ever been. Shit like that. And I was like, yeah, that's definitely a reality that I've been living for a while. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like. That's the thing. That's just what I'm kind of getting at. It's like we all have ideas, right? And you don't want people to be violent and shoot up the world and stuff, but you'll never be able to control that. I believe it's like the snake and the falcor and the wolf. You need a balance. But to you, Falcor is the bad guy and he's the good guy to me. So we can't control that. There you go. Yeah. That is about how I make lists. Now you gotta write that neater though.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Why did this start in the middle of the page? Yeah. Wrong is wrong. Don't wait. Fix it now. Expand consciousness.
Next time, just go diagonal, dude.
Create structure with authority. Build habits.
Yeah.
Wait, here. Let's put the exhale on this breath of fresh air, right?
Okay.
So,
but yeah, don't worry about changing other people. Worry about yourself, right? Because you can't change other people. You can't stop carnage. It's a balanced system. It's a 50-50. It needs to be there. Understand that most people are either going to love you or not like you, but learn how to feel that energy, see what's coming back, see who's calling you, see who's wanting to be your friend, and not be like, oh yeah, take it for granted, and then try to make more friends, and then they're not as cool, but then you're like, oh man, they're not as cool, I gotta probably be cooler myself, and then you don't get the energy exchange, but then you ignored the friend that really wanted to be there. So there's that part of it. But if you can't change the battery that has to run this earth, because it needs a positive and a negative, and you're over there on the positive and you want to stick there, and your positives are, in my case, including creativity. I could use creativity in a destructive way too. I could be real creative with destruction. I could take it in any direction I want, but you have to, if like you said, I want to get better, I want people to feel better, I want this, like, well, that's what you just have to do all the time, and you have to stick up for that. And maybe you're going to make an enemy, or 2 or 3 or 100. The more public figure I become, you just inadvertently make strangers for enemies. It's like any politician. Think about how many people hate the president, or how many people love the president, right? But the president doesn't fucking know any of them, and it doesn't matter. It's some paraphysical relationship that is irrelevant.
Yep.
And it's like, so yeah, and it's like, what good is that going to do? But you could do stuff locally. You could, if you want to do stuff and build up, you could become, if that's that important to you, become a fucking politician. That's your value,
CP,
right?
Tie it in a bow. Like in less than like 3 sentences, how would you wrap up that vibe?
Oh, you can't control everything because life is uncertain, but you got to go out there and work and know you. That's the only important thing. Know you.
Know yourself.
Represent you and your values, and guess what? You're going to find your community, and then that's going to be your friends and family, and you're going to have a pretty good life. You're not going to feel disconnected because you actually go to the same places. You go to the places where people sell art and talk about philosophy here. It's
you know what value I've held since I was a teenager that's always held true?
I'm not going to take a joke. Okay.
You can take a joke, but I'll say what the real
I honestly
thing is.
am too tired. I'm honestly too tired. I couldn't come up with one.
Oh, no, it's good. So what? I think it was Shakespeare. To thy own self be true. And like I was in like some elective class for theater, just trying to learn other parts of the world. And to thy own self be true. Like here was a 15-year-old kid, and I'm just like, huh. Because if you lie to yourself, how are you going to treat other people?
Yeah. If you lie to yourself, like, you're susceptible to all kinds of abuse. You're maybe abusing yourself. Maybe you just want to blindside yourself. But yeah, it's going to lead to everything from like depression and maybe addiction, and it spirals. You need to connect with other humans, even though we sometimes suck. But if you come into the world and you're like, man, people are horrible because you were abused or something, not everybody's going to do that. Like, that's just shitty people. And the shitty people are perspective. And
that's like what Scarlett's
we're
saying
wrapping this thing up into a bow.
Yeah, so if you keep owning others' issues, you have no space left.
Yeah.
Own your own. That's like I say to a lot of people, actually, in my line of work doing social work, I say you got to clean your house before you worry about someone else's. And that's something that you're like your brain, like, clean up in here before you worry about out there.
And that's so true, because I spent all my 20s, at least, I was subservient to everybody growing up. I was abused, and everything, you did, someone would find fault in it. So like, I am good at stuff because I had to be, like, people would fucking scrutinize. No matter how good you were, they would just like find the worst of it and only point out that one thing. If you did great, they wouldn't even say anything. They just stare at you like you're fucking nothing.
That's that.
And it's like,
that's that aspect of being an artist and making art. There's certain things in a painting that if you put them there, no one will notice it. But if it's not there, they'll point it out that it's not there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So like that was where I came from, and I spent a lot of my life just trying to just trying to make sure everybody else around me's happy despite how I felt, because I'm not really allowed to have that kind of authority. Speaking of authority, I'm not allowed to do this thing and branch out, and I can't really have a voice. It took me a long time to realize I can, because I'm a person and I'm gonna die someday, and it doesn't matter anyway. So who cares, right? I like this stuff. I like that stuff. I don't like this stuff, and that's fine. And it's fine if you don't like things I like or value things, but you talk to anybody, and if you don't mention things outright, like politics or religion, you could talk with someone who's completely opposite. Just let them talk. And, like, I can find ways to agree with their narrative.
That's
like,
right. We got to plan Sit with Your Enemies Day. Remember our new holiday that we're going to make?
Sit with your enemy. Yeah, that's going to be really fun. But yeah, Rising Mind's going to have a fun year. I know that. I want to. The cosplay is a thing that is going to be part of this year. Maybe maybe I start writing the second book if I get the first one done.
I mean, that's good as a metaphor. Start the second chapter.
Absolutely, or start the first chapter, or really commit to something. But don't overwhelm yourself. I'm like, I need to write a book in the year, and then maybe even start another one. So I've already psyched myself out and been like, oh man, that's a fucking lot of work. But why don't you just make a page? Say you're gonna make a page, like start it. You don't have that, and then let the ball roll. And if other things get in the way, be flexible. Be like water, as Bruce Lee said, man.
Be like water. We're gonna wrap this up.
Here's to another year. Fuck you, 2023. I hope you die. I want nothing more than 2024. So let's get the fuck out of here.
This is turning into a
I don't
theme.
know. Head to the store. I don't know.
This is turning
Everybody,
into a theme.
thank you. Thank you for everybody who's been our fan and giving us energy. And I hope we've given you energy back, because we do this for us. We're friends. We have other friends in this community now, and we're really I'm really happy. Of all the things
going into Ram year number 2.
Yeah, 2023. Of all the things I can say, there was so much dog shit, but I can say, hey, Rise in Mind. We've built this thing. Matt and I are better friends because of it. We've processed stuff. We've probably done some therapy for ourselves, and hopefully we've done some therapy and mindfulness for all of you. And I'm hanging out with meeting Storm and having that weekend with Joe and getting to know him better. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. If we never started Rise in Mind, go out there and do the things you're passionate about. And we've met our like-minded friends. Just like I said, it's energy receiving energy. So go out there, 2024, do some more. Let's hope this fucker's a good year.
Oh man, that's good. 2024, do some more.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you do? More is more.
Thank you, everyone, for being our fans, and appreciate all of you. Just to mirror what CP is saying, it's been a great year, and we have learned a lot about ourselves and about podcasting in general, and what to say and how to say and how to be and who to be.
I've learned, I did it a few times today, but I've learned to say less sentences.
What?
Yeah, because I can tangent, and and here's the thing: when I see you looking around and fiddling around and stuff, I know you're doing something, so then I don't stop. But you're probably fiddling around because I'm talking too much, and you don't have a way in. But see what's happening? No, it's ridiculous.
No, I have to.
It's ridiculous.
That's funny because I do stuff to help me think while I talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I get that. I'm playing with these fingernail clippers over here just to kind of ground me a little bit because I'm so tired and keep on task.
D20 thing that I've been fidgeting with, like a D20.
Oh yeah. Is that from Loot Crate? I think I used to have
It is
that.
a Loot Crate one, yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody knows a Loot Crate thing. That's the unoriginality of the
It's
poor
just-
Loot Crate.
yeah.
It's like, oh man, that guy has the same T-shirt as me. That guy too. Fucking bust.
Alrighty.
Never wear a Loot Crate shirt to the con. That's a lesson of 2023 that I'll leave you with. And yeah, I'm excited for doing stuff with you guys in the
Excited
future.
for the
And
first ever Ram merch of the wolf and the dragon.
Yeah, we're probably gonna get some more stickers available. Maybe a store. I don't know. I don't want to promise anything. We're just gonna keep doing.
No,
We're gonna keep doing this thing, and hopefully it fucking does something more.
I'm already paying for a storefront. I'll just make a page on my storefront for all the Ram stuff because we've gotta pay for that, you know. But we'll make it all happen. Again, like thank you so much for everyone that is like chiming in and letting us know how we're doing. Also, that's a big thing. I'm really thankful for people who can hang out here, but also people who listen to the podcast on all the different platforms that we have it on. Your comments are definitely fuel.
We appreciate that.
So have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.
Have a happy New Year.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next year.
No, oh, God damn it.